He'll face off against J.P. Sears. You can catch all of the action right here starting at 6 p.m. with the pregame show. 7:05 first pitch. Seattle Sports on 710. Other news, some good news for University of Colorado head football coach Deion Sanders announced today that he had undergone surgery to remove his bladder after doctors discovered a tumor there. His doctor now saying he is, quote, cured of cancer, adding she does not use that word lightly, saying it was not an easy task, it was dynamic, it was tough, it wasn't a cakewalk, it wasn't easy, but it was a fight that we made, and we made it.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
This hour is brought to you by Legacy Group Capital's Northwest Fund.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Wyman and Bob.
On Seattle Sports.
Streaming live on the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton.
Welcome, everybody. It's Wyman and Bob, Seattle Sports on 710, seattlesports.com. We are live at the Virginia Mason Athletic Center on a beautiful day out here. Seahawks out on the field in front of us. Training camp well underway, and they got pads on today, Dave. You must be excited.
Yeah.
You must be in a very good mood because they're out there, they've got pads, and there's some hitting.
Yes, there is. Yeah, I watched the one-on-one pass rush, linebackers and running backs. That was cool. Yeah, I like seeing that. And now, offensive line-wise, I mean, these guys are really going to start to work on getting the right fits and everything. And I think everybody's ready to hit each other anyway because you go in shorts and jerseys, and yeah, there's not a lot you can tell.
Yeah, so. It is much. It feels like we're watching football now.
Yeah. Right.
And they're not tackling to the ground. They're not taking them down, but there's the hitting going on, so you get a much better sense, especially I think when it comes to line play.
Yeah.
Because when there was no defense and they're just running plays out there against no defense whatsoever, you're going, the linemen look agile.
Yeah.
They move pretty well, but yeah, right. It's hard to gauge. So good to see him out there. We'll talk a lot about what's going on out there. Steve Raible, the voice of your Seattle Seahawks, will join us at 2:30. We're going to speak with wide receiver Tory Horton, a fifth-round pick of your Seattle Seahawks, who had a few people saying he could be a tremendous steal coming out of this draft. So we'll get a chance to talk to him. And then Rowland-Smith will join us at 3:30 for his weekly conversation. Looks like Jalen Milroe just threw an interception there.
And he threw it to Eamon Worry. He's over there high-fiving the crowd.
They're already in midseason form. They picked the ball off and runned over to the berm to slap high fives with all the fans over there.
There you go. Yeah, nice seeing. I mean, you don't want to see Milroe throw an interception, obviously, but Eamon Worry is one of those guys probably a much higher priority that he plays well.
So I think I asked you this last week, but when you were coming up, you didn't have fans at practice.
No.
Right?
No.
How do you think you would have responded to some big goofball in the stands going, come on, I want you to be like a dog. Come on, give me that dog. Because that's what I was hearing out there. And I'm like, you think you're motivating the player? You think they're looking at you going, you got it, buddy. I'm gonna go straight dog for you.
Yeah,
screaming like he was a coach.
I never heard any of that, and like I've always said, like in '92 when we went 2-14, nobody booed or anything. I mean, but when I went to Denver, oh man, they had one of those fences that you put up temporarily.
Yeah,
and just a steady flow of people just letting you have it,
just letting you know you weren't awesome.
And I was always like, take the fence down.
Yeah.
I mean, let's see what happens then. I remember Brian Habib.
You know what would happen? Nothing.
Habib went over one time and took his helmet and kind of hit the fence, and he got in trouble for that because some guy was screaming and yelling at him. But, yeah, I mean, it was very quiet. There was no music. There was no people.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's cool to have the fans and everything, but just have that one guy screaming from there, and he's leaning over the railing. It was like he was one of the coaches. Yeah. Right? He was just screaming, and I'm thinking, if I'm one of the players, I'm like, dude, shut up.
Yeah. Funny. It's funny. I don't think people were interested in going to practice back then.
Yeah.
The NFL is just...
Man, if I were a kid back then, I would love to have gone.
Yeah.
That would have been a dream come true.
So I don't even really know. I remember one time my wife came out when I was in Denver. We got married. I immediately went to Denver and had to hang out with a bunch of sweaty dudes for 2 weeks. And
that's a honeymoon, by God.
Yeah, I was happy to see her there. But yeah, I mean, I remember she was able to just walk out and watch practice. So I Yeah, I just don't remember there wasn't a demand for it as much as there is now.
Yeah, now it's a thing. It's an event, and there are, hundreds and hundreds of people out here on the berm on a beautiful day watching practice. So, again, we'll talk more about that. Meanwhile, the Mariners over the weekend split with the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Kind of disappointing. I mean, we say this all the time. We talk about it. When you go on the road and you're say it's a 8-game road trip, you're going, look, 4-4 minimum, right? Let's split this road trip. 4-4, 10 game, you want to go 5-5 minimum. Obviously, you want more. You always want to win every game, but they achieved the goal, so to speak. They split it. You kind of feel like they should have done better. And there's this weird knack of starting pitchers for the Mariners dealing early, just shutting them down, mowing them down. 3 up, 3 down. 3 up, 3 down. Logan Gilbert was on fire. And then they had that inning, the 5th, 6th inning for, whether we're talking about him, whether we're talking about Kirby, all these guys have had no hitters going into the 5th inning recently, in the 6th, in Woo's case, going into the 8th, but just had a tremendous start happening. And it's like when the first thing goes wrong, a base hit or a walk or whatever happens, the wheels come off.
Yeah. Well, and that's what happened. You mentioned the walk. He walks in the bottom of the 5th. The catcher ends up drawing a walk. Then Rengifo walks, and then all of a sudden, you get hit by pitch, and the whole thing just entirely sort of just unraveled. And yeah, that was really un-Logan-like. You could say that, but yeah, it just seems like that's kind of been the thing that's been going on. I saw, Kirby, he walked 3 guys, and I had to go back and look, and I think it was he has 3 games where he's walked 3 guys this year, and if you go back, it's the last time
5 in his whole career.
Yeah, because the last he had 3 walks in 1 game was his rookie year in 2022. So. Yeah, just kind of uncharacteristic of the starting rotation.
Well, it's just so extreme, I guess, is what's weird about it, that they can go out there and they're just dealing. And sometimes it's, everybody talks about, hey, 3rd time through the lineup, things change. Yeah, there's some truth to that. But often you're not 3rd time when things go wrong. And all of a sudden they just become a different pitcher. And I just don't know what's happening there, where you could be just so dominant, so efficient, and then whether it's just a regular base knock, a walk, whatever, and then it just goes awry. It just goes the wrong direction. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. Hopefully, Luis gets off to a good start in this one, because the A's are rolling right now. The A's have won 4 in a row. They did the Mariners a favor. They swept the Astros.
Yeah, good news, bad news.
Yeah, Astros have dropped 6 of 10. Yet the Mariners have gained little ground. They're still 4 games back. And now they're tied for that 3rd wild card spot. The Red Sox moved in front of them for the 2nd one. Mariners are tied for that 3rd spot with the Rangers, who've won 6 in a row and 9 of 10. So you got teams around you that are hot. You better keep pace, and we'll see what they get done. But the other part of yesterday is Logan Gilbert could have been nails and just held them to, 2 runs the entire game, and they still would have lost. They had 2 hits.
Yeah.
They had 2 hits against a guy who you've got no business being dominated by. With all due respect to Kyle Hendricks, he was getting touched up in the month of July. He has a 6.59 ERA in the month of July, season 4.92. This is not a guy who's been shutting teams down. This is not a guy who's been on a tear. He's on fire. He's on a nice little streak. No, he was on a streak of bad. And then he comes out there and just locks them up. 6 innings, 2 hits, 1 run, 3 strikeouts, 1 walk. Just locks you down, and that is maddening. And it feels like that's kind of been their story, right? They beat Skubal twice, they beat Crochet, they beat these high-end pitchers, they knocked Skeens out of the game. They've done great against the guys you're looking at, going, this is going to be a problem. And then these Schmagegis come in here and just look like Cy Young.
Yeah, it's really frustrating. I'd say the only thing is Josh Naylor got a hit in every game. It's the guy that you brought in to spice up your offense, and, Cal gets a couple home runs, and, so.
Yeah, and you had Julio with a home run in 3 straight games.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing yesterday, but
Julio's
he had a nice series.
Yeah, he's looked great. So, yeah, I mean, it's, like you said, it's very frustrating, especially if you're like, why are we getting shut out by this guy, Yeah.
So. Yeah, it just, the M's offense on the day, 2 hits. 1 run, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts. They were 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position. Yeah. They left 3 on base. I mean, the Angels bullpen just came in and just locked the door. 3 innings of no-hit ball, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts for the Angels bullpen.
What did you think about, I mean, are you like, okay, are they done? Are they done?
No, they're not done.
The trade deadline?
No, they're not done.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely they're probably going to bring in somebody in the bullpen for sure. I would think that would be an automatic, but I don't know if they're still in the mood to deal. And I guess the Yankees,
I hope the mood is still striking them.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the Yankees, they were supposed to be the big competitor at third base, and McMahon, he went he's batting 500 as a Yankee. We were just talking about his 218 average. Yeah. And he goes there, and I think he went like 5 for 10 or something like that in the series. So Gino's still out there, and I think a lot of people, when that happened, and you've got a pitcher that like all of a sudden it looks like he's Cy Young, and it's because our bats have gone cold, and it just makes you wonder. Okay, I wonder if they're still done.
Yeah, no, I think they're definitely still trying to make something happen with the offense. I know they're going to go after a bullpen arm. Who it's going to be, we'll find out. Jerry Dipoto was on MLB Network radio, and he was talking about their emphasis on adding a high-end reliever before the deadline.
Yeah, this is one of our favorite times of year. When we put ourselves in good position, we've always been given the ability to go out and do the fun thing at the deadline, and that's, the Rock in 22 and Randy Rosarena and friends last year, obviously Josh so far, and we are dialed on the bullpen, and that makes us like just about everybody else who's trying to get to the finish line. But, it's the bullpen, as they are the late movers. And, somewhere in the last, day or two and maybe in the last hour or two, you'll start seeing some of the higher impact bullpen guys go off the board. And we will be as aggressive in that area of the market as just about anybody, I would imagine.
Well, and that's the thing about Jerry Dipoto. I mean, say what you will about him. I think, he's obviously under financial restrictions as far as what he's going to do, but he's always been known as a very aggressive trader, at the deadline or, and in the off season as well, but particularly now. And I don't know. Because of the Naylor thing, I guess I'm thinking, why not? Why not go all the way and, get not only just a bullpen arm, but maybe another bat?
I think they're in the market. I don't think they're done addressing the offense. Now, again, it takes two, and whether they can find a deal that's suitable to both sides, we'll find out. But I certainly don't think their attempt is done. I think they are probably burning up the phone lines, talking to multiple teams, trying to make a deal to bring in another bat. And he told you right there, obviously, they're going to go after a bullpen arm. They're not done. It's just a matter of, all right, what's it going to cost and who will it be? Will it be one of the high-end arms? Will it be somebody a little bit more under the radar, perhaps? And look, the one thing you could say, or I think if you're being objective, when you talk about Jerry and Justin and how they've acquired talent, they're good when it comes to pitching. So if they acquire some name that we're going, well, I haven't even heard that name. Where did he come from? And he's got an ERA of 4.8 or it doesn't look impressive. I'm just putting my belief in them. They've got a knack. It's a rare miss for them when it comes to bullpen arms.
No,
right?
It's very true. I mean, they've found the right guys.
Santos right now is a big miss.
Yeah,
but it's not performance. It's dude can't get healthy. Right. Yeah. That's one glaring miss because they usually. And typically it's a name who's Topa, who's Seawald, who's this guy, who's that guy, they just have a knack for getting that guy in and making them productive.
And talking to those guys, it just sounds like they're like, okay, what do you do best? And it just sounds very simple, but, and I think also, they do a good job as far as the health of their pitchers. And they've got that part down. We don't worry about that.
And for the texters out there, the text line is open, 866-979-3776. This team misses the playoffs. What's going to be the biggest reason? Is it going to be the offense or is it going to be the pitching?
If you ask me, it would most definitely be the offense. I mean, I feel like this, you see outings like that with Logan Gilbert, and you're like, you're disappointed and everything, but I don't know. I feel like they're going to get back into form here at some point where it's just consistently Logan is the Logan of last year. Same thing with Kirby, and Castillo and Wu, of course.
Even yesterday, if Logan, like we said, if he was dealing, what if he gave you 7 innings, 2 runs?
Yeah.
Quality start. You still lose.
Right.
You had 2 hits the whole game. So, yeah, both things failed, right? Logan, the wheels came out. He was dealing. He looked great, and then he just fell apart. But you had 0 offense behind it. I mean, literally almost nothing. Thankfully, Cal hits a home run. Otherwise, you got one measly hit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just anemic, to say the very least. So, to me, it's kind of a tough answer because both have struggled, both have shined. You know, when we're talking about offense and pitching, certainly. But I don't know, man. As we get closer and closer, we're looking at games that both elements failed, and this is one of them. Right, the pitching failed, and your offense was a no-show. So yeah. I don't know. For the Texers out there, the Mariner fans, if, and hopefully we're not having this conversation, but hypothetically, if they do miss the playoffs, where will you point the finger more? And don't say Jerry and ownership. Just looking at the product on the field. Is it the pitching or is it the offense that'll be more culpable?
You think our Texers can handle that many options?
It's just 2. It's
pitching or hitting.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I'd just be shocked if people thought it was. Now, John Paul Morosi, he told us he thinks that they're going to go after starting pitching, and I don't know if it's too late for that or not, but yeah. So, but I don't know. I think I'll say this about the pitching, though. They are a team that's built for the playoffs, right? I mean, just get in. But, yeah, it's been a problem, for – it seems like every year we talk about the Mariners' offense.
I think I've got more belief at this point that the pitching will get straightened out, and maybe I'm being foolish. Maybe it just won't. I don't know. We've seen.
No, I'm with you on that.
I've got more faith in their ability to get not to where they were last year. That's not going to happen. But to resemble it, to be effective, to be similar to what we were, hopefully closer to what we were expecting coming in. Where I don't know what to expect from the offense. Yeah. On any given night, I've got no idea.
Right.
I don't have nearly as much faith that they can turn into a consistent element because we've seen there's extremes. They put up 8 runs, then they got a gem like this where they have 2 hits. Yeah. And you're facing a guy who has got no business holding you down like that. So, yeah, it's maddening.
Well, you're going into a series here with the A's where it's like, did you see the Kurtz kid?
Yeah, 6 for 6, 4 home runs.
4 home runs, and there was one that went off the top of the wall. Yeah. I mean, it's ridiculous. So I mean, now you're going in there hot offensively, and obviously as a team playing really well. So this is going to be a big one, a big indicator, because if they play like that, like they did against Houston, against the Mariners, that's going to be discouraging, very discouraging. But you know what? Maybe that will be the impetus to, go, okay, we think. Maybe, I mean, they probably already made up their mind, but still, just maybe a little bit of an extra push for, continuing to go after a bat as far as until the what is it, Thursday? Free agent?
What's the date? Deadline? Today is the 28th to the 31st. Thursday, yeah. Hey, by the way, how'd you do with Roku yesterday?
No, I didn't even try. I listened to it on the radio.
You didn't even try.
Yeah.
You just, I didn't even know that was the situation until yesterday. I was like, wait a minute, because I was getting ready to leave. I was going to come back and watch it on the DVR. I was just making sure, and because for some reason my DVR is defaulting to the other broadcast. If the game's on Root and Fox, it'll go to it'll record the Fox broadcast, or sometimes it'll record the opposing team's broadcast. I don't know what's going on with the DVR, but anyway, I was just double checking, going, wait, it's not scheduled here. What's going on? And then I realized it's on Roku. I'm like, what the hell? And I text Lefko, and I'm like, Roku?
Who's Roku?
What the hell is that? I don't have that app, that channel, that anything.
All I know is that I signed up for it, couldn't get it to work, and this was when I had a hospital stay last year. So I was in there. They didn't have the game, whatever, and I'm like, okay, let's try Roku, and then never got it. And yet they have been billing me. And my wife has been on the phone with them for probably 6 months now.
You're laughing at Lefko.
Yeah.
That's a very Wyman story.
Yeah.
I don't know how it happened, but now they're charging me. Didn't this happen with, what was it, Peacock? Remember during the playoffs?
Yeah.
You couldn't figure out Peacock either.
Well, and I had Peacock,
you had
Mike.
Peacock, yeah.
Mike, I had Peacock, and I called the person like, yeah, you're on. I don't know why you're not getting it. Yeah. And I'm like, okay. So I just spent 30 minutes on the phone for that
Did they tell you?
That
Have you
answer?
tried unplugging it and plugging it back in?
We tried everything.
Yeah, luckily the Mariners, they send out us an email for every game, like here's today's pitching matchups, here's the all the details of the game, and it had a link to Roku on there, and I clicked, and it was actually you filled in the typical name, address, email, all that, and then boom, it was good to go. But I for whatever reason missed the memo, didn't know it was on Roku until yesterday, going, what the hell is that?
Yeah, I saw you're complaining in a group text. I was making a social tour of birthdays and parties and all kinds of things, but I saw that. And I was like, well, if Bob can't figure it out, I got no chance.
I got it figured out. It was just I wasn't ready for it. Enough avenues. I want every game to just be on one channel.
Yeah.
All right? Can we do that? We got Apple. We got Peacock. We got, what else? YouTube. We got enough. Just keep it in one spot for me, would you? All right, let's take two.
Well, it was official today. Kenny McIntosh placed on the IR by the Seahawks, reportedly a torn ACL. We can talk about that a little bit more at 3 o'clock also. The Rams, as well, they have some injury issues. So they initially placed Matthew Stafford out of practice for just the first few practices. Now they say he's going to miss all of this upcoming week with back soreness.
Yeah, he's had back issues throughout his career, or at least over recent years. So I'm guessing they're going to really handle that with kid gloves, so to speak. But the Kenny McIntosh thing really bummed me out, man. Really, really bummed me out. Not because I think he's going to be a Pro Bowler or anything, but he's just a guy, Dave, that you and I have spent a lot of time talking about, a lot of time watching when he does get opportunities, really just, keeping a keen eye on him and going, man, the guy looks good. We're watching him out here in practice. He looked great. Just waiting for him to get an opportunity just to be, a somewhat regular contributor perhaps, and then this happens. Just a huge
I haven't got a chance to talk to KP, the coach, Kennedy Polamalu, but I know that he loved Kenny Mack, and he's just one of those guys. Here's what I'm afraid of is that he's never really going to get his career going. The last couple of years, he's got 31 attempts. He really didn't even have a rush his rookie year, but I thought he should have. But yeah, and I'm afraid that now all of a sudden he's never going to be able to get his career going, because I was very close to that, and sometimes you just get bogged down with injuries and whatever else has happened that he hasn't been able to get on the field. It's just it's tragic.
Yeah.
And he's a really talented player. So yeah, I mean, the good news is they're getting better and better at ACL repairs, but that's a shame for him, man. Especially, no pads. It wasn't like it was in a game or anything.
Non-contact.
Guardians closer Emmanuel Clase was placed on the non-disciplinary leave list, so he's being looked at as part of MLB's sports betting investigation. The Guardians also had a pitcher placed on it earlier, back on July 3rd. Luis Ortiz was. Now, this is an all-star closer. Now, of course, you look back at all his blown saves. One of them was in Seattle against the Mariners on June 14th. All those start to come to mind now.
Are you implying he had money on the Mariners?
He's been suspended, or he's being looked at as part of MLB's gambling investigation.
Stupidity. I'm sorry. That is so dumb. If you want to do it, there's ways to get around. Get yourself a bookie, okay? Well, go get an old school bookie with just writes everything on paper and doesn't do anything electronic. That's if you really want to bet that much.
Do you have
honestly.
to? Or, are you bored? He doesn't need the money.
Yeah.
These guys are millionaires.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Why are you risking this
It's just the thrill.
crazy lifestyle you've got?
The thrill that gambling provides for certain people, and in one little corner of their mind, it's really exciting. And I don't know. Maybe he's tired of hanging out in the bullpen and
Tired of
wanted
making
something to do.
millions of dollars,
Yeah.
traveling first class, best hotels in the world, and
that
having
sucks.
every need of mine met with a smile and an absolute nod of the head. Yes, sir. No, sir. Yeah, it's boring. Let me gamble on a game.
So
Just-
dumb. Well, and again, I'm not recommending that people gamble, but I'm sorry, if you want to do that, there's ways to do it. So if you absolutely have to, just don't be an idiot about it. My God.
Don't get it. All right. Take Two is brought to you by Swedish Cyberknife. Treat prostate cancer with Swedish Cyberknife. Swedish.org/cyberknife prostate. Coming up, he will be sick of Wyman soon, but I guess he can handle 10 minutes with him today is what I'm reading there, Dave. Steve Raible.
Sounds like Glefko's snarkiness.
Is it a lie, though? Or do you get sick of him? Either way. You guys irritate each
There's
other,
nothing
right?
but love in that.
Who do you
booth.
think rambles on telling more stories of the good old days, me or Raible?
You can ask him next.
We'll ask him. He's going to join us next, the voice of your Seattle Seahawks, as we continue live from the Virginia Mason Athletic Center. It's Wyman and Bob.
Seahawks training camp is underway.
That is music of the year.
And nobody gives you more insider access than the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Coach Macdonald sitting down with us right now. This thing on and ready for you.
Watch how the Seahawks roster comes together.
Seattle Sports training camp coverage is presented by the Landing in Renton.
Seahawks training camp on Seattle Sports on 710, the Seattle Sports app, and the Seattle Sports YouTube page.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten. Classics are remixed. Bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877-CARS for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit revivemenshealth.com.
It's back to school season, and Clorox is donating 2 million disinfecting wipes to classrooms across America. Because back to school means things can get a little bit messy. Just ask second grade teacher Mr. Torres.
Put me and just one Clorox wipe on a team? We can take on crayon smudges, sticky fingerprints on every surface, sneezes on the door handle, juice box explosion by the sink, snack crumbs, and don't even get me started on the bathroom passes.
Clorox disinfecting wipes, teacher's #1 wipe.
Think about it. Bathroom passes.
Clean feels good. Based on unit sales data.
Aloha! Dreaming of sandy beaches and ocean breezes? JTV's Tropical Treasure Sweepstakes could make that dream come true. Enter for your chance to win a fabulous Hawaiian getaway for two with luxury accommodations, airfare, and spending cash. Plus, just for entering, get $30 off your next qualifying JTV purchase of at least $99 when you opt in for emails. Don't miss out. Visit jtv.com/sweeps and enter by August 3rd. JTV, where paradise awaits.
The home of the Mariners.
Left off to center. It is on its way. Julio, 2-run home run.
Hear every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Why'd I go to the doctor? One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the right call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-486-9600. That's 800-486-9600.
This might be the most surprising statistic I've shared in decades of doing local news. More than 75% of commuters will be involved in a car accident at some point. JP Pendergast of Pendergast Law with more.
What makes it more surprising? The average person will be involved in 3 to 4 collisions in their lifetime.
With accidents unbelievably prevalent, what are some safety tips if it happens to you?
Safety first. Secondary collisions are not uncommon while awaiting help. Turn on those hazards and remain in a safe place. If a bystander witnessed the accident, capture their information and encourage them to remain at the scene. Seek medical attention immediately if needed, as delaying can be a costly mistake. Lastly, remember that statements made to police and insurance adjusters can affect your case.
Collisions are more common than we'd like to think. If you find yourself in one, follow these helpful tips and then call my friends at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one's injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
PendergastLaw.com.
This hour is brought to you by Legacy Group Capital's Northwest Fund.
Wyman and Bob.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
Weekdays 2 to 7.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
We continue live from the Virginia Mason Athletic Center. It's Wyman and Bob, Seattle Sports on 710, seattlesports.com. Sitting in front of us now, for those of you watching on the video stream, is the voice of your Seattle Seahawks. You know him, you love him. The one, the only, Steve Raible is with us. How are you, man?
Gents, I'm fine. How are you guys doing? I forgot. Radio now is like you get pictures, too. It's sort of like TV, actually, right?
Dave likes that. He demanded we be on camera.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
That's not why I got in radio. I got in radio specifically so people can't see me.
Well, now look at you. See? Look at him. There he is.
Everybody, look at him. Look at that visor. He takes a lot of grief for the visor.
Oh, by the way, I was going to say, like, shouldn't he be taking some heat for his hat? How old is that hat?
I don't know.
It's got to be 20 years old.
Which
is older?
Easy 20 years old.
This one's 20 years old.
Is it really?
Yeah, people complain about it, but I don't hear it.
No,
he just digs his heels in even more.
Yeah, I got one other cap that's older than this, and I don't wear it only because it has more sweat stains than yours does. So that's why I'm not wearing it today.
Well, we got our first day of pads and hitting going on out here, which is kind of good to see. And I was asking you before we came on the air, Rabes, like, Are you eager to get out here, or are you feeling like, wow, it's already here, I'm not ready? What's your feeling going into this season?
Well, I mean, the season obviously is fun. I joke with people, I didn't like training camp when I had to do it, practice it, and I don't like it much better now when I'm not practicing it. But it's a necessary evil. And back in when I did it, it was well before Dave, but that was a time, first of all, 6 preseason games, and so that was when you really started to work yourself into shape, especially the veterans. Now, when I was young and came in as a rookie, I tried to be in pretty good shape, ready for training camp. But a lot of veterans worked all through training camp, right up and all through the summer, right up until training camp.
Job.
Exactly. And so then they'd come in, and you start to get ready, but it was training camp that really got you in shape. And unfortunately, that first year with Jack Patera over in Cheney, we started doing up-downs from the very first day. We started running gassers the very first practice. And it was like 6 weeks of 2-a-days with full pads in the afternoon and shoulder pads and helmets in the morning.
And really hot.
Really hot. And so some of the guys, veterans, I mean, some of them just, I can think of a couple of them that they just pooped out early on because they just couldn't take it. But that's what training camp is for. And Dave and I talk about it too. And the hitting time. You don't get as much of it anymore, but when you put the pads on, you at least have to feel like I've taken a shot and I've dished a couple of shots out.
Yeah, I mean, it was a lot of the things that we did, I think it truly built toughness, but there were some stupid things too.
Yeah.
Like no water.
Yeah.
Right? That's going to make you tougher.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We never had water.
Yeah, there
practice.
was.
Are you serious?
Training
like
camp.
For the whole practice?
The whole practice.
Yeah.
1-2 times in Cheney, the whole time we were over there, which was 6 seasons for me in training camp. It was so hot. We had like 14 straight days over 100 at one point. And everybody kind of joked about not having water. Some of the veterans who had come from other teams, some didn't have water, others did. So Jack Patera, to kind of make it a joke, brought popsicles out one day in the middle of practice. Now try taking a popsicle when you have absolutely no spittle in your mouth at all.
Dry.
And it just hits and it sticks to the back of your mouth or your tongue. I mean, it was brutal.
Well, what was the point of that? Just to make you tough, or were guys laying on the ground cramping up and everything?
A few of the guys did, but Jack's philosophy was this, and he got this from Bud Grant, where he came from in Minnesota, and that was, we're not out here long enough that you can't sustain a 2-hour practice, even in this heat, and even as hard as it's going to be in the afternoon, if you hydrate beforehand. So make sure you're drinking a lot of water before practice, in the training room, in the locker room, do all that stuff. Because when you come out here, you're not going to get a drink. And he also didn't want to stop practice. Now, they're just walking around with bottles of water, handing them to you between plays.
Yeah.
He didn't want any focus other than what you're doing at that moment, which was if you're in one-on-one drills or if you're in skelly drill or if you're scrimmaging. I want all the focus there. I don't want you worrying about water. So we didn't. And I'm 71. We all survived somehow. I don't have one kidney, but that's another story.
It seems a little silly to me, but all right.
I'm kidding.
There's no question it built some toughness, but, you have to find a happy medium, obviously.
Yeah.
And I thought when that really started to turn, because when, my first year in Denver, that was 1993, we were full pads, full contact, tackle to the ground, like a game.
Yep.
Double days, 5 in a row. So I remember Elway looked at me in the locker room and goes, "You look like a leopard."
With all the bruises.
Just bruises everywhere. But then, it started to turn like at 95 because Mike Shanahan would, put you in pads and you go out and do the individual drills, which I think really could still be done. I mean, obviously they have, a cap on how many padded days.
Right.
But the things where you really need to have physical contact, like the interior part, 9-on-7, all that, and then halfway through we would take off the pads and do 7-on-7 and all the other kind of work. So that makes sense to me, and I still think, and this sounds old school, but I think they should have more contact and more pads, especially for the O-line. But I have a feeling that Mike Macdonald's going to push the envelope on that a little bit.
He has a little old school in him. I mean, he's very much with, he looks at the stats, he looks at the numbers, he understands what the guys in the training department and all that, what their philosophy is on getting guys ready to go and all of that stuff. But in the same breath, he's also kind of old school, and that is, hey, at some point we're going to be hitting some people, and you can't get good at tackling unless you, at least a little bit, have a shot at making some plays, making some tackles. But I must say that they're so much smarter about things now than when we were, there's so many guys that say, back in the old days. Well, the old days weren't as great as a lot of people think. I mean, we had a lot of guys hurt. We had all that stuff going on. And now they do such a good job in not only taking care of them at the time, but look through OTAs and mini camps, and so you're ratcheting up to get to this point. We just show up. We'd start to work out in April, lifting weights and running, but you don't do any kind of stuff on the field with the team in those days till you get to training camp. We had no mini camps or any of that stuff.
Hey, before we let you get out of here, what's your feeling about this team? Dave and I did a whole video series, our 5 reasons why this is going to be a playoff team, because it seems like there's a lot of pessimism, especially nationally, about the team. And I get the questions on offense because everything, new quarterback, new receivers, new coordinator, it's all new, so we don't know. Defense was top 5 in the second half last year. Now you hit the ground running with your guys. I think this defense, barring injury, is going to be really good and can probably help carry the load until the offense finds their footing. But what do you think?
Yeah, every time I get asked about, what do you think the team is going to do this year? And in fact, my wife has been around me so long now, 44 years, she will answer the question for me. Well, if they don't have injuries, and that's always the biggest if.
Right.
I mean,
it's always the caveat.
We're waiting for Chenna to be able to get back from his surgery and come back out and practice. But just think if he can get back to that stage he was before, his injury situation the last couple of years. So that's always the biggest caveat. You got to be careful of injury. That said, I'm with you. I really like our defense. I was out here watching the guys fly into the ball, and even the backups to the backups, getting across the line of scrimmage seemingly almost untouched, or beating their blocker to the corner to turn the play back inside. Mike has that defense racing full speed ahead right now. And then if the big guys inside can kind of control it a little bit, like Dave always used to say, he loved seeing Cortez in front of him, like that big butt in front of him, because he knew there was not going to be one of those linemen come off on him. That's what you have to have defensively, and then I think the back end can be really good, really talented. The offense is probably going to be a little bit of a work in progress, and if the defense can keep them low-scoring games, and again, you don't make too many mistakes. I was watching the Martinez kid, the running back.
Running back, yeah.
There were guys who were literally trying to bring him down, and they couldn't. I mean, he was just blasting through people out here.
He's got a Marshawn quality to him.
He does.
Yeah.
He does. He was fun to watch, and K9 is just so quick off the dime. Talk about one cut and go.
Yeah.
He looks great. So, if, like you said, if the offensive line can kind of get all those pieces together and get up to full speed quickly, I think we could really be. I'm excited. I'm excited about the season.
Yeah, we're with you. We're with you. Rabe's always great to talk to you. By the way, Dave asked a question before we went to break last time. Who do you think tells more stories about the good old days between you two?
Gosh, I don't know.
It's tough.
Yeah, we both.
Tough call.
But actually, once we get to doing the games, we're so focused on what's going on right now.
I think Dave thinks it's you. That's my feeling about this.
When Raible looks at me, he has this look like I got to spend like 350 hours with this guy over the next.
No, they're all a joy. Well, maybe not all of them are a joy, but a lot of them are a joy. Yeah.
All right, Raible, don't you go dying on me.
I'm not going anywhere.
How about that for a send-off? Jeez.
That's really
it's a
lovely
Dumb
thought.
and Dumber line.
I know where it came from.
That.
We appreciate you, Rabe.
All right,
anytime, guys.
Thanks, buddy.
By the way, who canceled so that you had to have me on here?
Nobody.
Let's go. Who canceled?
We bumped somebody else. We said we got to get Rabe.
I got you. Okay.
That's right. There he is, the voice of your Seattle Seahawks.
Third-string kicker. He canceled.
His name's Joe Schmagegi. We can't find him anywhere. There you go. The voice of your Seattle Seahawks, Steve Raible, with us. Our coverage of Seahawks training camp is brought to you by The Landing in Renton. All right. Coming up, the rest of baseball, the world of baseball might not have known how funny Ichiro can be, but I think they do now. We're going to hear some of the best from his Hall of Fame induction yesterday. That is coming your way next as we continue live from the Virginia Mason Athletic Center with Wyman and Bob, Seattle Sports on 710.
Seahawks training camp is underway.
That is music to the ears.
And nobody gives you more insider access than the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Coach Macdonald sitting down with us right now. This thing on and ready for you.
Watch how the Seahawks roster comes together.
Seattle Sports training camp coverage is presented by The Landing in Renton.
Seahawks training camp on Seattle Sports on 710, the Seattle Sports app, and the Seattle Sports YouTube page.
When you own a business, it feels like everything's on you. Orders, deliveries, employees, on you. That's why Comcast Business is giving you a year of mobile on us with your internet service. Really? Yep. We'll cover your first line of mobile for 1 year. So calling customers, getting directions, texting Janine and shipping, on us. The broken coffee maker? That one's still on you. Which means you'll save hundreds for your business and get the fastest mobile service with 5G cellular and Wi-Fi hotspots on us. But hurry, this deal won't last long. Get a mobile plan and free up the budget to maybe, I don't know, fix that coffee maker? Get mobile on us for 1 year, you guessed it, on us. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 9/22/25. Restrictions apply. New mobile customers only with internet standard service or above. Limited to value of 1 unlimited interline apply via 12 monthly internet bill credits. 1 discount per account. Fastest mobile based on mobile Wi-Fi and cellular data in service areas. Ookla Speed Test Intelligence 2H24.
Buckle up. True country icon Clint Black is rolling into Muckleshoot Event Center Tuesday, August 5th on his Back on the Blacktop tour. Grab your boots and get your tickets now at muckleshootcasino.com. Clint Black, live and loud and only at Muckleshoot Casino Resort.
The 2025 Seahawks season is almost here. Get fitted for game days with jerseys, caps, and tees, including the 2025 training camp collection, Visit the Seahawks Pro Shop at the Landing in Renton and Lumen Field or online at seahawks.com/pro shop.
Hey, Brock Ewart here for my friends over at PCF Construction. If you're seeking a complete outdoor living space or a very specific project like an underdeck ceiling, maybe a new deck, patio cover, railings, well, my friends at PCF have you covered. This summer, well, you can enjoy 12 months of no interest and no payments. And how about this? Plus 50% off a design and architectural drawing package, or up to $5,000 off an undercover system. If you're looking at your outside and saying, golly, what a beautiful summer in the Pacific Northwest, and we can't take advantage of it, well, take advantage of these offers today. If you've been wanting that new deck, that new patio cover, make the call. Get online right now and connect with my friends at PCF. You can find all the offer details. You can get project ideas, and you can browse photos at pcfgroup.com or call today at 425-629-8476. Don't let this offer pass you by. It's 425-629-8476.
12's Seahawks training camp, powered by Boeing, is underway at the Virginia Mason Athletic Center. Join us lakeside for a first look at your 2025 Seahawks as they put in work and gear up for a milestone 50th season. Only a few open practice remain, and they're filling up fast. Register now at Seahawks.com/training camp.
Bonneville International radio station contests are open to participants 18 years of age or older that are residents of Washington State unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contests are not eligible to win unless the station otherwise specifies at its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 60 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. Full general contest rules are available on seattlesports.com or in person at the station during regular business hours.
The home of the Mariners.
One hopper snare, that's short. On a quick hop by J.P. Crawford. That guy's a magician over there at shortstop.
Seattle Sports.
Download the Seattle Sports app.
Are you trying to buy a new home, or are you a local real estate agent seeking financing for a client? We're all tired of dealing with banks, credit unions, and endless guidelines. Wouldn't it be nice to go back in time when we had common sense lending? Hi, I'm Scott Rireka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital based in Bellevue. We are one of the largest local private portfolio lenders in Washington. We've helped thousands of home buyers and real estate investors reach their financial goals by leveraging the Legacy Common Sense borrowing platform. What that means is we lend our own money, we make our own decisions. If your deal makes sense, we'll get it done. Whether you're purchasing a new piece of real estate or refinancing an existing loan, bridge loans, construction, or regular home loan, it doesn't have to be as difficult as banks and lenders make it. If you're trying to grow wealth through real estate acquisition, come talk to the experts in private lending.
Call 425-635-4700 or LegacyG.com. Legacy Group Capital, your common sense lender. LegacyG.com.
Saving for retirement was tough enough for us.
Yes, and navigating markets can be challenging at times.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we take a disciplined approach with your investments.
Tell us more about that.
We take an active approach to money management, positioning your portfolio for opportunities we see ahead.
So all your clients get the same portfolio?
No. We tailor your portfolio to your individual goals and needs.
What about communication? We don't like being left in the dark.
We check in regularly to keep you informed on the markets and your portfolio.
Which means you'll help us stay on track.
Yes. Our goal is your comfortable retirement. And as a fiduciary, we always put your interests first, because we do better when you do better. At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Wyman and Bob.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
Weekdays 2 to 7.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Our thanks once again to Steve Raible, play-by-play man of your Seattle Seahawks. If you guys missed that conversation, you'll be able to find it on the podcast page after the show at seattlesports.com. Meanwhile, I think a lot of the local eyes of sports fans were tuned into the Hall of Fame ceremony, baseball's Hall of Fame induction ceremony yesterday, and Ichiro Suzuki up there speaking to the crowd. I thought it was awesome. I thought Ichiro did a great job up there. You could tell it was hot as hell. Everybody up there is sweating. Everybody's got a bottle of water. Everybody looked like a great turnout of Mariner fans out there.
Yeah. He had his beautiful wife in the crowd as well.
Did the whole thing, obviously, in English. And you know, I don't know how many fans, you know, it's just not often you get him to hear, you get a chance to hear him speak in English, much less at that length. I mean, to see him up there talking for as long as he did. And just a couple of highlights. How about this? You know, of all people, Riz had to be just beaming ear to ear when he heard this. Ichiro did a little impression of Rick Riz and explaining that's why he was working so hard in the offseason.
Beyond the regular season, I had a serious routine in the off-season too. When I showed up at the camp each spring, my arm was already in shape, waiting for Mariners broadcaster Rick Riz to say, "Holy smoke! A laser beam strike from Ichiro!"
That was awesome. I love it. So cool. Holy smoke. It's just, that is great. You know Riz just loved that. You know he was just smiling ear to ear when he heard that.
Oh, yeah.
That's amazing.
And couldn't happen to a nicer guy, right?
Yeah.
Our buddy Rick. I love that guy. But, I mean, I thought he did a really good job. And, you know, like I always say, I think it's very courageous to try to, you know, for some of the foreign-speaking players to actually, you know, do things in English. It's difficult, man. So, he did a great job. And, you know, we'd heard that he has a great sense of humor. Yeah. You know, and that really came through. So, yeah, I loved seeing that.
Yeah, it was. I thought he came off really well. Here he is. Here he jokes about how he's talking about his time with the Marlins, because Ichiro obviously played for the Mariners. He played for the Yankees. I think people sometimes forget he played for the Marlins.
Yeah,
for a couple seasons before he came back. But he joked about how irrelevant the Marlins were in 2015.
And to the Miami Marlins, I appreciate David Sampson and Mike Hill for coming today. Honestly, when you guys called to offer me a contract for 2015, I have never heard of your team.
If you're a Marlins fan.
But I came to love my time in South Florida.
Are you going, wait, what? I had never heard of your team.
Oh, my God. Yeah. But no, it's just amazing. In MLB.com, you can find an article that's, 51 facts, because that was his number. And it's just unbelievable going through the things that Ichiro did. So, and, you know, I guess I hadn't really looked at like his history. He was drafted out of high school in Japan.
17,
Yeah. So, what a journey for him.
And he was a rookie at 27 here.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, just so fortunate to have a guy like that. And what a great character. And I know you always marvel at, well, and everybody does, I guess, but I mean, the fact that he's out there, like, throwing baseballs and, you know, he's
shagging flies. It still stumps me that you're not more into that, because you love football so much, and I think if you could get out there and do something, you would. Yeah. And he can't. He loves baseball so much. I love how much he loves the game.
Yeah.
I mean, that was one of the big stories coming out of there, is when he got to Cooperstown, he's out there swinging a bat and playing catch. He brought his gear with him. That's just
unbelievable.
What he does. It's who he is.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, look, that's a different kind of, like, it's sort of bordering on insanity a little bit, you know? I mean, honestly, but that's what you have to be that great.
He's obsessed.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. So, yeah, and I mean that in obviously the best possible way, but yeah. And then, you know, I thought Billy Wagner, that was really cool too. And, you know, he talked about how he's a right-handed guy and learned to pitch left-handed and
throw the ball hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, undersized guy too.
Back in those days, yeah. And so, yeah, I mean, the whole thing was really well done. Loved it. And, especially the Ichiro part. And
yeah, one more from Ichiro before we hit the break here. He explains what he was most excited to do after retiring.
Shortly after I retired, Yumiko and I had a date night. We did something we had never been able to do while I was a player. we sat in the stands and enjoyed the Mariners game together. We did it the American way by eating hot dogs. Of all the experiences baseball has given me, enjoying a hot dog at a game with the person most responsible for helping me reach this moment is the most special.
Oh,
so cool.
That's
I'm surprised that he actually ate a hot dog, though, because he's got a very disciplined diet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if he counts. He had to have been sitting in a suite or something. There's no way he was sitting out amongst the common unwashed and not being mobbed.
Yeah.
So he had to be in an area where he could be not bothered.
Right.
But it would be funny to see him and his wife sitting there and he's just chowing down on hot dogs.
Yeah. And then he's like, oh, man, I've never had one of these before. Now it blows up 50 pounds or whatever.
But very cool nod to his wife and the sacrifices she's made. And still continues to make, because I'm telling you what, he still spends as much time around that team as if he were a member of the team.
Yeah.
I mean, you never go a day without seeing him out there. And he's still obsessed with the game, and I love it. I thought he crushed it yesterday. So hopefully you all got a chance to see that. Ichiro was very, very good. All right. Our coverage of the Seahawks training camp is brought to you by The Landing in Renton. We're going to catch up with Seahawks rookie receiver Tory Horton. A lot of people excited about him, feeling like he's a diamond in the rough. Seahawks are still out there on the field, but once they wrap things up, he's going to come join us on the set as we continue live from the Virginia Mason Athletic Center with Wyman and Bob. Seattle Sports on 710.
Now batting for the Mariners, first baseman Josh Naylor.
The first contender to make the big move that says, we're all in.
Well, look at the Mariners striking first. How about that?
They did exactly what they needed to do at the deadline.
They do it without giving up a top 10 prospect.
It just kind of felt like, this is the right fit.
You're now looking at a 1 through 6 in your lineup that's deep. It's legitimate.
We're all over baseball's trade deadline on the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Lowe's knows big savings make a big difference, especially when you're shopping for appliances. Hurry in to get up to 30% off select major appliances. Plus, My Lowe's Rewards members get free delivery, free haul-away, free installation and parts on purchases of $2,500 or more. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 7/30. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Price, delivery time, and vehicle availability may vary based on order size and location. Exclusions apply. See Lowes.com/delivery for more details.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time. The next time you're out to dinner with friends, you can order the shrimp cocktail for the table. And maybe you'll realize it only comes with 4 shrimp after you've already given away 3, but that one shrimp will be so good. And if you switch and save hundreds, you could get shrimp all the time. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time. For shrimp. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
History, it had the gold rush. Then came the oil boom, the tech boom, but right now it's the Wi-Fi boom, and Xfinity Wi-Fi is booming. Xfinity has everything you need to tap into the Wi-Fi boom with seriously powerful and seriously reliable connection. It's got 99.99% network reliability and incredibly low lag, so your streams are smoother than making a decision on what to stream. And did I mention that you can even connect to hundreds of devices so you, your kids, your parents, your poker group, and whoever else is at home can all experience the Wi-Fi boom with Xfinity. And the Wi-Fi isn't the only thing that's booming. Get the most reliable Wi-Fi and our best in-class equipment for one consistent price for 5 years guaranteed all in. Plus get unlimited data included and no annual contract, all with the 5-year price guarantee from Xfinity. Visit Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY or visit a store today. Restrictions apply, not available in all areas. New residential customers only. Select plans only. Xfinity Gateway with X5 Complete required for unlimited data except in certain areas. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024. Actual speeds vary.
This is for all you guys on Viagra. ED pills are no longer needed. The brutal side effects like 4-hour headaches, blurred vision, and that flush feeling can all be put behind you with our treatment. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we have a better approach to ED. Acoustic wave therapy creates blood flow circulation by safely removing the plaque in your arteries and restoring function naturally. Guys, let me be clear. Pills will never fix your problem. Our equipment is the latest technology, and our medical staff is the best in the industry. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. If you suffer from ED or Peyronie's disease, Give West Coast Men's Health a call today. It's not just about better health, it's about a better life.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
The LJ Way is the Lee Johnson Auto Family.
Hello. Welcome to the Lee Johnson Auto Family. This is King. This organization's a special one. They call it the Lee Johnson Auto Family, and it's not just a name, it's not just some cliche. They foster an environment for us to become a family, to work together, to really become close, and they show us in a lot of different ways that they do value us. Is it perfect? No place is. But I've been very thankful to be here in the almost 10 years and have every plan to stay here for a lot longer and just watch it continue to grow.
He's fun and professional, which explains why so many people visiting Lee Johnson Kia ask for him by name. The LJ Way is the Lee Johnson Auto Family.
Hey, it's Dr. Coogan from Eastside Weight Loss Clinic. We've been fortunate to work with over 4,000 local people and help them hit some pretty amazing weight loss goals. I'm joined by two of them right now, Mike Salk and Ryan Rowland-Smith. Ryan, every time I see you on TV, I'm even more proud of all you've accomplished on the plan.
I'm so happy. For years, I've been trying to find a consistent plan that delivered results with my busy family and work schedule. Eastside Weight Loss Clinic not only delivered, but it was an absolute breeze. It was so enjoyable because the plan wasn't hard. I was able to eat delicious food, and I literally lost weight every single day.
Eastside Weight Loss Clinic works so well for me. I'm happy to hear more people are using it to lose weight and prioritize their health as well. It's an awesome plan. Schedule a free 50-minute consultation today. Go to eastsideweightlossklinic.com.
No surgery, no exercise, no packaged meals, no drugs or injections. Just delicious food and a plan that works. Schedule a free 15-minute consultation today at eastsideweightlossklinic.com.
Dr. Ryan Coogan, D.C. Results may vary.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Mariners continue their road trip, taking on the A's in Sacramento at that minor league stadium. Game one of that series coming your way tonight. They're going to send Luis Castillo to the hill, hopefully getting this team back in the win column after splitting the four-game series with the Angels over the weekend. The A's will counter with J.P. Sears. You can catch all of the action starting at 6 o'clock with the pregame show, 7:05 first pitch right here, Seattle Sports on 710. Other news around the world of baseball, Philly star Bryce Harper apparently stood nose-to-nose with Rob Manfred during a meeting between Major League Baseball's commissioner and the team last week, telling him to, quote, get the bleep out of our clubhouse if Manfred wanted to talk about the potential implementation of a salary cap. So the confrontation came in a meeting, one of 30 that Manfred conducts every year in an effort to improve his relationship with every team's players, and apparently this one didn't go the way anybody anticipated.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
This hour of Wyman and Bob is brought to you by K2 Vision.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Wyman and Bob
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming live on the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton.
We continue live from the Virginia Mason Athletic Center. Seattle Sports on 710, seattlesports.com. Wyman and Bob with you. Somebody got a hold of the microphone out there on the PA. So.
Oh, boy. Yeah. You love that, don't you, Bob?
I think
you like people screaming into microphones.
I think it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun. Just get you fired up. I'm fired up now.
No, there's a good amount of fans, actually, and you were asking me this last week that, are they maybe selling less tickets or whatever, but, yeah, it's a pretty healthy crowd today. So,
yeah, there's a weird middle of the berm. It used to be the whole berm was packed left to right. I was having this debate with Salk. He's like, no, it's always been like that. And I'm like, no, it hasn't. The whole middle section was empty.
Yeah.
And
do you think it's because they couldn't see over the screen?
Well, that's what Raible was saying that he thought it was, because it was just odd. There's no barriers or anything, but just like it looked like the berm was split into 2 sections.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like that before, regardless of what Mike Salk thinks.
Yeah.
It wasn't that way.
It almost looked like it was roped off as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, and for people that haven't been out here, there's a huge TV screen. I mean, what would you say that is, Bob? Like 7 by 10 feet or something like that. But
it's massive.
Yeah, but they are running, you know, whatever. It's like you can go over and look at the play that you just ran, and you see players over there looking at it, you know, just trying to figure out what happened, which I think is really, I mean, I'm sure other teams are doing it, but it's incredible. I would have loved to have that immediate feedback, you know, because later on you're like, wait, which play was this or whatever, and they can go over and, you know, at any one time you'll see like 10 or 12 players over there watching the play that just happened.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a tremendous teaching tool.
Yeah, it is very cool. I mean, it is, you know, it's so funny to see the contrast of how things go today versus as Raible was telling us when even before you, Raible was out there, you know, guys were working full-time jobs in the off season, working during training camp, a different job, and they're doing 2-a-days or 3-a-days, full contact and pad, no water.
Yeah, that was just dumb. That was just dumb. But yeah, I mean, I think, I mean, I guess I can see it did make you tough, no question. But like, I don't know, when you experience something like that other things aren't as hard. Like, I know that rehabilitating from a knee injury and surgery and all that stuff, it was never that bad for me. I guess maybe it's because you have experiences like that in your life. But yeah, it was very different back then. So
well, I'd like to think they're a little smarter these days.
Oh yeah,
about how they're
it's just a physiological thing. I mean, come on, no water. That's not right.
Especially for the out in Cheney.
Yeah. Well, and luckily I avoided that.
You never had training camp out there?
No, never went out there. I think the very first year was the first year they opened up the Kirkland facility.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then we stayed down at Northwest Bible College. But, you know, we had a room with 2 twin beds, and the room was like maybe as big as this little broadcasting studio here. And
air conditioning in there?
No, I think we went with fans.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. But, Joe Nash one year, Sam Merriman one year. I think I stayed with Boz my rookie year. So, yeah.
Boy,
it was
get very familiar with the guys.
Yeah, you do. He's in a twin bed that's about as big as that table that's holding all of our equipment. And, yeah, no air conditioning. So.
Why would they have such? I guess you couldn't have big beds in tiny rooms. I was going to say, why would you got these huge old linemen, they were sleeping on twin beds?
Yeah, I don't know. It didn't make sense. But I remember when I got to Denver, there was an inner, you know, bedroom and an outer one, or actually a kitchen, and I just took my mattress and put it out so we could have separate rooms. Just threw it on the floor.
You were sleeping in the kitchen?
Yeah, basically.
You just want to be closer to
what they called the front room or whatever. But yeah, that was
like Lefko with us at spring training.
Yeah,
I was gonna say that sounds familiar.
I know. Lefko, that's right. I forgot about
space.
that.
Yeah.
Lefko was like
alcove.
Well, yeah. What was that? That was like a
mini office area.
Yeah, like an office
like a
area.
landing area.
It was at the top of the stairs. So Mike, very, very tolerant. And that's the equivalent of going through double days without water.
I didn't want to spend a room with Wyman. Share a room with Wyman.
Feelings mutual.
Yeah.
Everybody won.
Especially for a week.
Everybody won.
We get sick of each other.
Everybody won. Yeah, that's it's the video screen is a cool thing to get that immediate. All right, what happened on that play? Oh, I was supposed to go this way. I went this way, or this, whatever. Even your footwork. I'm sure that are the coaches. One thing I haven't seen. I haven't stood over there. I was on this end of it, but. And me pointing is great radio, by the way. But when you're over, are the coaches standing there with them going, like, hey, look what you did here? Have you seen any of that? Or is it just the players looking at it?
I mean, from everyone I've seen anyway. But mostly the coaches are out in the middle of the field just, you know, getting ready for the next play or whatever. But, it's just, like I said, immediate feedback. You get to see it. And that's also part of the reason why, you know, these practices are a little bit longer. I mean, we haven't had anybody. It's supposed to stop at 3. We haven't had anybody over here at 3 o'clock yet.
No.
So yeah, I mean they're stretching it, and yeah, it's a good thing, and hopefully they have shorter meetings. You know.
Yeah.
You know, when you look at the film later. I get so tired of looking at film at the end of my career. I was like, oh my God.
And
How much film?
Now what do? You look at film.
I love it. Now I love it, and I miss it. I'm like, oh, man, I wish I had all the film they have. But
it's so much easier now. You can do it on an iPad. You can look at any particular play against any particular player. I mean, it's amazing what they have access to and how quickly you've got access to it.
Well, not only that, the guys upstairs in the video department, they'll put together specific things. So, like, a lot of times when you're watching film, you're watching stuff you just want to fast forward through.
Right.
And they do it so it's specific to, whatever your position is, and, and you can, that out routes versus man-to-man, or, I mean, they can pretty much isolate any situation. So it's more efficient that way. That way you're not, running through watching backups or whatever, you're just seeing your film. And, it's advanced quite a bit.
Yeah, it's very cool. Players,
and they give you water now.
They give you water. You're right. They got the little tanks on wheels that they walk around with.
Yeah, constantly.
Guys go up there, and you're right. They're handing them water bottles in between every play almost, so they're well hydrated. I would just think, a situation like that, you'd have guys laying all over the field cramping up and throwing up. I mean, you're going to get heat exhaustion out there, sunstroke. I mean, that just seems foolish. I get trying to make guys tough, but.
Well, and you got all the heavy equipment on and everything, so they're a lot smarter.
That's the other thing is the equipment these days is so much more streamlined and lighter and breathable compared to everybody talks about the shoulder pads. I know you weren't the only one wearing them, but big giant, presumably decidedly heavier shoulder pads, probably heavier helmets. Everything was more cumbersome and bulky back then.
By the way, I was talking to EK, Eric Kennedy, who I shouted out last week because he was the ball boy when I was there.
When he totally ignored you?
Yeah. Eric Kennedy, and he was doing something else. But he runs the entire equipment room and everything, and he told me to come in there because they have these new pads, and there's only a few guys wearing them that sort of interlock over your chest, and then there's like flexibility. So and I was asking Raible, if you're a receiver and you're trying to catch a high point, a ball,
right? I
mean, you can only go so far with the old pads, and now this one kind of adapts to that and kind of moves a little bit. So anyway, he was going to show it to me, but it's amazing. All the, like the helmets are. Have you seen that video on Seahawks.com? I think you can still see it, where Eric's in there, like measuring their head and everything, and then they conform to it and everything. It used to be like, okay, here's 4, which one's the least, painful or whatever, but yeah, I mean, it's amazing all the steps that they've taken.
I wonder if they have one that would fit me.
Yeah, that's a good question.
You guys have junior sizes?
Well, you get those the ones that they serve ice cream in.
Little mini helmets, yeah. A lot of those people either use them for autographs or I can wear them, whatever you want to do with them. But yeah.
Well, and I think my head's gotten bigger the older I've gotten. But the reason why people would say you had a tiny head is because I had the hugest shoulder pads ever. But yeah, I mean, they were so unnecessary. And Rabes and I were talking about how the thigh pads were like 1.5 inches thick. That were just right on the front of your thighs. I mean, you couldn't really move. I mean, I felt like I never got up to full speed until like the first quarter or second quarter, because it was like, you gotta loosen this whole thing up. And
well, majority of these guys, you see them like they don't even have knee pads. Right. They typically the pants are pulled up above the knee, so there really is no knee pad there to speak of.
Remember Michael Bennett?
Yeah, he didn't look like he was wearing pads.
Yeah. So it's quite different.
Yeah, it is a world of difference, but working smarter, not harder. Working smarter these days, and the Seahawks are milling about. Looks like a lot of family out here, meeting some of the family out there on the field whenever Tory Horton becomes available. I'm not sure where he's at out there on the field.
Jugs machine.
Well, no, it was pretty cool. Before that, he pulled Devin Witherspoon aside, actually. They were working on it, and then he asked Witherspoon to go on some one-on-one routes with him. So Witherspoon was showing him some quick, steps off the line. I was watching him, wondering when he'd come over here, of course, because, that's not important. But no, it was cool to see, to have Witherspoon teach, and then Horton, a rookie, kind of work with a guy and say, I want to get better right here. So it's like they just wrapped that up.
That's really cool. That's really cool.
Who did we play audio from last week that was really excited about him?
About Horton?
Was that Jeremiah?
Yes.
Daniel Jeremiah, where he was like, hey, this guy is in my top 50 or top 75 players or whatever. He was really raving about him and talking about his skill set and you know, that if not for injury, he would have been, you know, even higher in his mind. So, yeah, hopefully he could be one of those diamonds in the rough that the Seahawks land in the 5th round. He's listed at 6'2", 96, coming out of Colorado State. So, you know, we're talking about the receiving room and, you know, what's it going to look like with the absence of Tyler Lockett, with the absence of DK Metcalf. You got your starters, obviously, with Cooper Kupp and MVS taking those spots along with JSN. But, yeah, it's somebody else that may be a guy that steps up and shines, and see if it comes at the expense of somebody like Bobo or what happens with that, how many receivers they keep here. But, yeah, he seems to be one that's got a couple of the Nashville voices that are excited about what it is he can bring to the field.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. He's a Fresno kid. I always point that out just because there's just this level of toughness from Fresno kids. You know, they just coming out of that. I think that's where he went to high school, and then he went to Nevada Reno for a while. Bob, you know what? I can ask him if he's ever heard of Worcester High School. We were state champions.
What do you think the odds are that he has heard of Worcester?
Probably not. It's right next to the airport, so, you know, there's that.
He's probably seen it and not really acknowledged it.
Yeah, he's just, yeah, it don't matter. That's what he's going to say.
Yeah.
Do you ever hear that story about Hushmanzada? Somebody went up to interview him, and he was putting his earring in, and they go, hey, I'm Joe Blow from whatever. He goes, it don't matter. It don't matter.
Wow.
Like he was introducing himself, the journalist was.
Oh, man. It don't matter. That's kind of cold, man. It's a little rude.
I like it.
That's a little rude.
It's funny.
Yeah. I actually went to and we're just, if you can't tell, we're waiting for Tory Horton to get over here, so we're tap dancing right now.
Yeah.
But I actually went with ESPN, the magazine was doing a feature. This is when I lived in L.A. They were doing a feature on the boxer Shane Mosley. And I went with a friend of mine who knew I was a big fight fan to the shoot and the interview and everything, and it was at Mosley's gym, and TJ Hushmanzada was there.
Oh, yeah.
In the shot, because he was a boxing fan, and he was going to his first fight at that point at the Honda Center out there, or at the Home Depot Center, excuse me. And, yeah, so I just sat there just BSing with him, but it took like 2 hours. So they were doing this photo shoot and all this, and he couldn't have been nicer. He was like super excited. It's the first time I'm going to see a live boxing event. It's going to be great. And I actually ran into him at the fight, went to it that night and saw him there. And he's like, oh, man, this is great. He was like a little kid, super excited about being there for his first live boxing event. Yeah. But, yeah, spending that time with him, he seemed like a really cool guy who had a really big addiction to candy.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. He's a huge candy guy. But, yeah, so that response there doesn't sound like the guy I met.
Oh, no. I mean, I think he's probably – and this is why I don't like going into the locker room afterwards, you know, especially after a loss. I mean, it's always tough, like the Mariners, right? When we go to those day games, you know, and they get beat, and it's just
so quiet in there.
Yeah, and I totally understand that, you know, and so having been on the other end of it, I'm like, oh, man, I don't want to go in there.
That's the biggest misnomer about this job. I have so many friends that are like, dude, you're going to the clubhouse, you're going to the locker rooms, that's got to be the best. I'm like, it's actually probably the thing I like the least.
It's the worst.
It's so awkward. People don't get it. So you're not in there asking for autographs. You're not taking pictures. These guys are pissed. They just lost, whatever happened in the game, and you're all milling about in a group, the media. We're all standing together waiting for whichever player to step up to, usually the starting pitcher, whatever, come to their locker, and then everybody goes over there, and everybody's speaking so quietly. It's like you're in a library, and they're like, well, hey, Luis, that was a tough one last.
Yeah.
What happened to that third inning? It's just it is so awkward and uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It's not the fun that I think people think it is.
Oh boy, we got Lefko very nervously trying to shepherd Tory Horton over here. If you step over this and here and go here and there.
Wait, just right here. And
yeah. Number 15, Tory Horton from Colorado State, 5th rounder.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Lefko out there wrangling.
Yeah, way to go, Mike.
Yeah.
He pointed to the area.
He's great with directions.
Yeah.
He's really good. So, waiting for him to get all settled here, and we'll have a conversation. They've wrapped things up for the day. Players signing autographs. Looks like catching up with family and things like that. Yeah. So, another day of practice under their belt. We get a chance to speak with a guy, as we talked about, that some of the national voices are pretty excited about. Rookie for this Seahawks team, Tory Horton, is with us. How are you, man?
Oh, I'm doing great, man. Excited to be back out on the field ready to keep working.
Do you hear any of those comments? We were playing a cut last week from Daniel Jeremiah, and he was talking about you and just kind of raving like you were a steal, and this kid's got he can do this, that, and he, if not for this injury, he would have been up much higher in my book, and just really raving about you. Does that get back to you at all, or are you kind of tuned out of that?
I try to tune out of it. I got a pretty supportive family, so they kind of send that in our little fan bam group chat. So, I actually did see a little bit of it. It's always nice to hear those things, and I'm just trying to prove something to myself, and just work every day.
Do you know who Daniel Jeremiah is, Tory?
Daniel Jeremiah?
Yeah.
The radio?
Yeah, he's on the radio.
I probably got to see. I got to put a face to it.
Football analyst on NFL Network.
Tory, it don't matter.
I gotta see. I gotta see the face again.
Yeah, no, but so how's everything going for you out there, man? I mean, it looks like you're fitting right in. And how different are the drills, and what are some of the things that you've noticed about being at the next level?
I feel like it's just very detailed. I feel like everybody's out there working on a certain craft and trying to perfect that craft. And every day you just try to select that weak spot that you feel like you have in your game and go and sharpen that up. At the end of the day, you just want to be the best overall player that you could be. And everybody got different roles, everybody got different attributes. So I feel like working on your craft and trying to perfect everything to a just 1% better every day is like the mindset that I take. And behind Coop and Jackson, all those vets, you kind of see how they hold themselves up to standard. And sometimes it may not go their way, but they come back and respond with a big play or something.
I think receiver is one of the harder the transition, because like the field's different, the landmarks are different, and then I always say, like, if they want you to run a route at 5.5 yards, it can't be at 6, it can't be at 5, right? I mean, it's very, you kind of mentioned it, but like it seems like for receivers, it's like kind of blown up that like you have to be very precise in your route running.
Yeah, of course. Like every route has a landmark or a certain yardage, and you want to get to that certain yardage because it's all with timing. And what I notice is the quarterbacks have a clock in their head, and they have a certain hitch or timing on where they want to let the the ball fly. And if you're not in that spot, that's the receiver's job to get there. So of course, coming to the next level, that's one of the main things. The field is a little different. They talk about splits. The hash marks is different. So just kind of trying to learn everything and still get the the playbook installed. It's a huge jump, but at the end of the day, we're all professionals, and this is something that we love to do. So the hard work and the just the preparation don't go on the field; it's off the field, and that's the huge part, because the less thinking you do on the field, the more you can go out there and just do what you could do.
Yeah.
Who did you grow up, I don't know, idolizing, just kind of modeling your game after? Did you have receivers that you grew up going, man, I want to play like that guy if I ever get to the NFL?
Yeah, for sure, Devontae Adams. He went to Fresno State. I'm from Fresno myself, so he's been turning it up in the league for some years, and just his savviness, his releases, route running is just something that you try to imitate. The separation that he gets off the ball and in his routes, his hands is great too. So that's a receiver that I grew up watching a lot. Starting from Fresno State.
There's something about Fresno. There's just a toughness that comes out of that. Every time I see a player from Fresno, I'm like, this guy's at least going to be tough, man. Not every player makes it, obviously. And then you end up going to Nevada, Reno for 2 years, and then on to Colorado State. Tell us about that transition.
So out of high school, I actually only had one offer, which was Nevada. Fresno State didn't want to offer me. It's kind of a chip on my shoulder that I took. And, it was Coach Jay Norvell who kind of took a shot on me. Shout out to him. And, I went to Norvell, signed there on the spot, and was like, man, this is my only opportunity. And, I kind of made the best of it. Didn't have the intentions of kind of, trying to be that breakout player year one, because, you the last guy to sign. I was one of the last signees, and I was like, I just need a shot. I just need opportunity. And, I worked my butt off. And being behind like Romeo Dubs and Elijah Cooks and all them, they kind of, gave me some key pointers, and, I kind of made some big plays, the first 2 years. And then, Romeo and them kind of entered the draft by my sophomore year, and Norvell and a couple of coaching staff ended up taking a new role at Colorado State. So
you went with that.
I jumped in the portal, and Fresno State offered me before they even offered me, and they knew I was coming. So it was nice to kind of get that offer now, but, it was a little too late, and I don't hold nothing against them. But, if you got some talent in the backyard, why not come and get it? But, that's something, you could prove, and you can talk about that because it's just the younger generation of, you got some young guys who could ball, so you need to take your shot on those who's from Fresno.
Yeah.
Hey, before we let you go, I'm just curious. You go in the 5th round, come to Seattle. Were you hearing that from your agent? Did you have a sense of what round you were going to go in? And did you think, I'm going to be going to a different team? Was it a surprise at all, or how did that process go for you?
We kind of had talks of, 3rd, 4th round. Of course, the injury played a factor, and my family is, like I said, very supportive. So, they kind of had that mindset of, 3rd or 4th. I kind of shot myself lower just because, you don't want to get your hopes too high. And just me having that mindset of going into the later rounds, it kind of lights a fire under you to, to say, like, hey, I got something to prove. It's truly a blessing to get picked up. And I couldn't be, any more. Like I was excited when I heard the call from Seattle. I came up on a 30 visit. I loved it. I loved the coaching staff, and just everybody who was working around when I was up here for my visit. And when I got the call and heard it was Seattle, I was pumped. I was like, man, these guys see something in me that these other teams don't. So I'm happy that they came and got me, and I'm just trying to return the favor of balling out and doing what I can do to help the team.
We're happy too.
Yeah, we can't wait to see you out there, Lumen Field, in front of those fans, man. It's going to be a cool experience for you. We can't wait for it. Good to talk to you, man. Really appreciate you spending a few minutes with us, and we wish you nothing but the best.
Appreciate you guys. Go 12, baby.
There he is. There he is. Tory Horton of your Seattle Seahawks spending a few minutes with us. We appreciate you, man. Looking forward to seeing him out there. Reminder, Seahawks preseason home opener is next Thursday already. Today is the last day you can enter to win 4 tickets to watch the Seahawks take on the Raiders in person. All you need to do is open the Seattle Sports app and click the Win tab to find out how. If you don't have the app, just text the word app, APP, to 866-979-3776. We'll send you a link to download it. It's totally free, so give yourself a shot next Thursday already. Unbelievable. Coming up, there was some tough injury news for the Seahawks over the weekend. We'll get into that coming up next with Wyman and Bob live from the Virginia Mason Athletic Center at Seattle Sports on 710.
ESPN senior MLB insider Jeff Passett with Brock and Saul.
Right before the trade deadline, where does this roster sit out of the 30 in baseball?
There is no dominant team this year, guys. It is a wide open landscape in Major League Baseball. There is no dominant team. And if you can put yourself in the position where you get one of those golden tickets, I firmly believe the Seattle Mariners can win a World Series this year.
Get more on the Seattle Sports YouTube page and the Seattle Sports app.
Look at this weather outside. This is motorcycle weather. I've been riding it to training camp every day, riding it over the weekend. Just can't get enough of it, but I know there comes, with the motorcycle riding, comes a big, big risk that you don't assume as much when you're in a car. And I have all my more experienced buddies that have been riding for a lot longer than I have telling me it's not a matter of if, but when you get into an accident. Hopefully that doesn't happen, knocking on wood. Hasn't happened to this point, but if you're somebody that has been injured in a motorcycle crash, do not settle for firms that say they're motorcycle lawyers. Trust the ones who actually have lived it. That's Law Tigers. They've been a part of the writing community for nearly a quarter century nationwide. They're there 24/7, 365 days a year, because riders deserve real support when they need it. Now, Law Tigers is the resource riders can turn to when you are in need. You see them out at all the events, all the clubs. They support all the clubs, all the shops. You see the vans, you see the tents out there. They're always there by your side, and even better, your case evaluation is always free. There are no fees until your case settles. They don't get paid until you get paid. The Law Tigers. You never ride alone with Law Tigers, Washington's motorcycle lawyers. Jimmy Cook, 539 Broadway, Unit 104, Tacoma, Washington, 98402.
Get in the game at Hoops on the Pier. Friends of Waterfront Park and Rise Above are hosting a 2-day youth basketball camp at Pier 62 for ages 6 to 16. It's free, it's fun, and it's right on the water. July 31st and August 1st. Plus, open courts during the afternoons. Open to all ages and abilities. Don't have a basketball? No worries. We have a ball for you. Live out your hoops dreams on the waterfront. More info at waterfrontparkseattle.org. Brought to you by Friends of Waterfront Park.
Why'd I go to the doctor? One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the right call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com, sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-486-9600. That's 800-486-9600.
You're not at your house. You're at a lavish seaside estate. You're not walking the dog. You're hunting for clues in an Agatha Christie mystery. See it differently with BritBox. Stream an endlessly entertaining collection of British TV, including new original series, Ludwig, starring David Mitchell.
Bit awkward, really. I think I might just have solved a murder.
And Outrageous, a scandalous true story.
Seems there's a political extremist in every family these days.
See it differently when you stream the best of British TV with BritBox.
I'm Matt Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Your car steering wheel could be a ticking time bomb. At least 24 people have died and many more injured because their airbags fired shrapnel at them upon inflating. Tens of millions of cars have been recalled. If you suffered cuts that required stitches, hearing or vision loss, or broken bones, please contact us today. You could be owed money for medical bills and other damages.
Morgan & Morgan. Visit us at badairbags.com for an office near you. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
The home of the Mariners.
It is gone! Cal Raleigh, 2-run home run!
Hear every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids. 1-877 Cards for Kids. Donate your card today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
Well, I'm here with my good buddy, Dr. Dan Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine. And you've heard from Dr. Dan's patients over the years how a simple stem cell procedure has successfully conquered their pain. Well, folks, now it's my turn. After years of dealing with knee pain from all the football abuse, I can say my knee pain now is almost 100% gone. How'd you do it, Dr. Dan?
Well, Brock, personally, I'm very happy that you did so well. And your story is like so many of our other patients who come in, former athletes and non-athletes as well, who have come in with chronic knee pain, and they are looking for alternatives besides knee replacement surgery. And we're happy to provide this service. It's been truly a game changer for so many folks. It's just been a pleasure to be part of this.
Consider Dr. Nelson, the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques, including stem cell therapy. I was in and out with a couple of follow-ups. It's a non-surgical solution to pain using your own stem cells. Consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD at 425-823-4000 or visit danielnelsonmd.com. That's danielnelsonmd.com.
This hour of Wyman and Bob is brought to you by K2 Vision.
Wyman and Bob.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
Weekdays 2 to 7.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Our thanks to Tory Horton, wide receiver out of Colorado State, a young rookie with the Seahawks team, drafted in the 5th round. Had a chance to catch up with him in the previous segment. If you guys are just tuning in and missed that conversation, it will be available on the podcast page after the show at seattlesports.com. Nice guy. I'm excited to see him out there and see, again, Daniel Jeremiah, very excited about him and very bullish on him, to say the very least. So, yeah, excited to see that.
I wonder if it's going to be just a little bit different, for receivers, and what I'm talking about is just the, how to structure their, their lineup, because there's going to be maybe one less receiver.
Yeah.
Just because of the tight ends.
Tight ends, yeah.
So, we'll see how they construct their roster and if that's going to have any kind of an effect. But, yeah, everybody has really liked everything they've seen from him. And I like it. He was very honest. He's like, hey, I went to Nevada Arena. It was my only chance.
You didn't ask him about Worcester.
I know. I just – it was a short one. I was like, that's just way too obnoxious.
Yeah.
And a Fresno kid, for whatever reason, it just seems like all the tough guys are out of Fresno. That's just kind of the culture down there. But yeah, really, really cool to see him having success out there. Watched him a couple times, man. And, that's the thing about wide receivers. We're talking to somebody, and they say, yeah, this is why you don't ever see rookie wide receivers in the Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
And I'm sure some have, but I just think it's a little bit harder. It's a little bit harder to make that transition. The transition and the speed of the game and everything is already there, but then also, you have like the precision that you have to run your routes. And like I always say, you don't work on those things to get better in college, because if you're catching a bunch of passes, you're doing fine.
Yeah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, there's no need. But when you get to, the NFL, you have to have all of those things down. So
it's going to be interesting to see. He's got the build. He's tall. He's lanky.
Yeah.
He just looks like he could be that threat, and how they're going to develop guys beyond Cooper Kupp, who's look, he's not in the prime of his career. He's not going to be a long time guy here, so they've got to find who's going to be JSN and who are going to be the young guys. MVS, same thing.
Yeah.
So who are going to be potentially some of these young guys being developed behind them. So it'll be fun to see that. One thing we did talk about when we opened the show is, in case you missed the bit of news, Kenny McIntosh is believed to have torn his ACL in practice over the weekend, a non-contact drill, which is just brutal. I don't want to see it happen to anybody on the Seahawks. Nobody. But he's a guy that was kind of like our guy. Like, I've spent a lot of time talking about, man, are they going to get him some reps? Is he going to get some more opportunity? And every time we see him, he looks explosive. He looked great when we were out here watching him. It's such a bummer, and having really no idea what kind of player he's going to be. He might just be a role player, but just want to see him get the opportunity just to see, all right, what kind of guy can he be? And this is a huge setback, but as you pointed out before, these days, ACL injuries, while they do take time to heal, obviously they're not the, career death that they probably were presumed to be a long time ago.
Right, but still, you're out for a year. It just sucks, man. Especially, you work so hard, and I know Kenny Mack, because, talking to KP, Kennedy Polamalu, who's the running back coach, he's like, this kid works his tail off, man. He's constantly out there. So I remember in 94, I got in the best shape of my life. I was coming off my best season, and I was playing my tail off in preseason. Everything was clicking for me. 3 days before the opener, and it was a Sunday night game against the San Diego Chargers, somebody stumbled out of their stance, rolled into my leg, blew my knee out. And I just went, and I went in the showers one of the few times that I actually just bawled, because I was like, all of that work that I put in, all of it just disappeared. So, that to me, that's just, that's the part of it that, like, it kind of takes you down a little bit, right? It's like, I'm already trying to tread water here and, make the team and get more carries and all that. And now I got to fight this injury. So it really sucks. I feel really bad for him.
Do you think it's worse when it's non-contact, or does it even matter? Is there something to, well, hey man, I couldn't be helped. It couldn't be helped. This guy rolled into me. What am I going to do versus, hey, I was going against air and I planted and it popped. I don't know. Does it make a difference?
I had both, and because one, I was coming out of my stance. All I did is pop up out of my stance, and just something tore in the back of my leg. That was worse. You know, but
because of the way it happened, or
just because. But if somebody, you know, because of contact or whatever, it's like, okay, the guy stumbled coming out of his stance and rolled into my knee, and you know, there's nothing I could have done about it. And you know, the other way, you're like, oh man, maybe I should have worked harder. You know, but sometimes it's just bad luck.
Yeah,
you know?
That's brutal, man. So our thoughts are with Kenny, and hopefully it's a quick recovery, and hopefully he comes back strong. I mean, look, he can look to somebody like Frank Gore, who blew out both knees and felt like for 2 decades at the NFL level. He did it before he ever touched an NFL field. So certainly you can come back from that and be very, very good, and hopefully that'll be the case for him. Meanwhile, there was some news over the weekend that will have a big impact on the Seahawks and Charles Cross. That is coming your way next as we continue live from the Virginia Mason Athletic Center. It's Wyman and Bob. This is Seattle Sports on 710.
Seahawks training camp is underway.
That is music of the year.
And nobody gives you more insider access than the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Coach Macdonald sitting down with us right now. This thing on and ready for you.
Watch how the Seahawks roster comes together.
Seattle Sports training camp coverage is presented by the Landing in Renton.
Seahawks training camp on Seattle Sports on 710, the Seattle Sports app, and the Seattle Sports YouTube page.
Hey, Brock Ewart here for my friends over at PCF Construction. If you're seeking a complete outdoor living space or a very specific project like an underdeck ceiling, maybe a new deck, patio cover, railings, well, my friends at PCF have you covered. This summer, well, you can enjoy 12 months of no interest and no payments. And how about this? Plus 50% off a design and architectural drawing package, or up to $5,000 off an undercover system. If you're looking at your outside and saying, golly, what a beautiful summer in the Pacific Northwest, and we can't take advantage of it, well, take advantage of these offers today. If you've been wanting that new deck, that new patio cover, make the call. Get online right now and connect with my friends at PCF. You can find all the offer details. You can get project ideas, and you can browse photos at PCFgroup.com or call today at 425-629-8476. Don't let this offer pass you by. It's 425-629-8476.
When it comes to the security of your business, doubts can creep in about who you're trusting to protect it. At Bay Alarm, we got you. For nearly 80 years, we've been putting our customers' minds at ease with our advanced technology and personalized support. Feeling insecure about your current security service? Visit bayalarm.com today.
Hey friends, Stacy here. Wayscar Ford Isuzu in Auburn is celebrating its 103rd year anniversary, and their biggest sales event of the year is going on right now. Take advantage of their great pricing on new Fords, Isuzus, and commercial vehicles. Also, large discounts on their service and parts departments. What about those of you who want to sell a car? Wayscar Ford's vehicle profit sharing plan is the best deal out there. They purchase your car and pay you right up front. Then, when Wayscar Ford resells your old car, they share 50% of their profit with you. They've already paid back over $800,000 to customers. At Wayscar Ford, there's absolutely no games, no gimmicks, and no pressure. That's backed up by a full 5-day or 500-mile no questions asked return policy on absolutely every vehicle they sell. Change your mind for any reason, bring the vehicle back for a full 100% refund. So if you're like me, you want a good price, a low-key, no-pressure experience, and a full 5-day, 100% satisfaction guarantee, Wayscar Ford is the place to go. Check them out for yourself at wayscarford.com. Wayscarford.com.
The 2025 Seahawks season is almost here. Get fitted for game days with jerseys, caps, and tees, including the 2025 training camp collection. Visit the Seahawks Pro Shop at the Landing in Renton and Lumen Field, or online at Seahawks.com/Pro Shop.
What does it take to get justice for a man paralyzed after a cycling accident? Thousands of documents reviewed, hundreds of thousands of dollars paid for experts and investigations, and over 6 years of hard-fought litigation fighting all the way to the Washington State Supreme Court. Because when King County said he deserved nothing, we proved he deserved better. $10 million better.
Everything that could be done was being done to help us.
Chris did a great job. Call Davis Law Group today at 206-888-8888.
Bonneville International radio station contests are open to participants 18 years of age or older that are residents of Washington State unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contests are not eligible to win unless the station otherwise specifies at its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 60 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. Full general contest rules are available on seattlesports.com or in person at the station during regular business hours.
The home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Cal swinging a drive, deep to right field.
Every pitch of every Mariners game is on the Seattle Sports app.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten. Classics are remixed. Bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
Now is the time. We talk about it year-round, but roofing season really is upon us. It's Mike Salk here. So what makes it roofing season? Long, dry days where roofing crews can work realistically sun up to sundown. They're cranking out projects all over our region, and Riverside Roofing is, of course, leading the charge. Local to Marysville, Riverside Roofing serves the entirety of Western Washington. They do amazing work. They've earned my recommendation, plus industry awards like GAF Master Elite's President's Club, a status fewer than 1% of roofing companies in the entire country actually achieve. Get a roofing quote in less than 60 seconds using Quick Quote directly on riversideroofingllc.com. It'll pop up as soon as you go on their website. During and after your roofing job, you can expect a yard and driveway totally clean of debris. Behind their national accolades is a family company from right here in Marysville, built upon important local values like trust. That's why Riverside Roofing is the local roofing company you can trust. Go to riversideroofingllc.com.
Wyman and Bob.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
Weekdays 2 to 7.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
We continue live from the Virginia Mason Athletic Center. It's Wyman and Bob, Seattle Sports on 710, seattlesports.com. You guys can text in throughout the show, 866-979-3776. Weigh in on whatever's on your mind. Coming up at 4 p.m., Ryan Rowland-Smith will join us for his weekly conversation, so stay tuned for that.
You think Raible's listening by any chance?
I hope so.
Raible, you left your phone here.
Yeah, he left it on set with it. He was just so into what we were talking about that he got excited and, he left it.
Raible, come get your phone.
Steve, your phone is here. Hopefully he's see, this is when he should learn. If he's not a listener, he should be one.
Yeah,
right.
That's right.
That's how you get your phone
Save
back.
the trip.
Hopefully that'll get returned to him, and all will be well. But meanwhile, over the weekend, the Chargers signed their left tackle Rashawn Slater to a record-setting contract of 4 years, $114 million, $92 million of which is guaranteed. How about that? You think Charles Cross and his agent are looking at that going, yeah, okay, now we got a little marker. I don't know if they're going to be looking for that kind of money, but they have an idea.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, look, we're used to it by now. I mean, the sticker shock, it happens almost every year. It just seems like, 114. And then the guarantees, too. That's the part that has really changed. And, that was, with baseball and basketball, I mean, it was fairly common that, you were guaranteed. Yeah. And otherwise, why even put a number out there? And now it's like, oh, okay, this percentage, and that's a pretty high number percentage-wise of 114 million, 92 guaranteed.
Well, isn't part of that what we heard over the years with the professor is, it's 92 million, but part of it's an injury guarantee, part of it's, so maybe it's split up in there. And, looking at somebody like Kenny McIntosh, you want that injury guarantee. Right. Those moments happen. Artie Burns, we talked about, former Seahawk, who was injured in training camp as well. So those were big moments for clauses like that in your contract, to have those kind of guarantees. But meanwhile, Charles Cross was asked if the Seahawks have talked to him about his contract extension.
No, not yet, but I'm just focused on this upcoming season and working for the upcoming season.
That gets done then this year if it
I'm just focused on being the best player I can be for a team and the team's success.
All right. Well, he's got his focus in the right spot. It sounds like he's letting – what are you laughing at over there, Lefko?
Sorry, I cranked the fan up, and it's now got your hair going a little bit. So.
That's cool.
I'll turn it down.
Hair flowing in the wind.
Dave's going to be on the video stream having that model look where the hair is being blown back.
Should I give him blue steel?
Yeah, give him that. Yeah. Well, it sounds like he's got tunnel vision, which is what you want. You don't want a guy going, "Hey, man, I don't know what's going on," or you don't want the Micah Parsons situation going on out there. And hopefully, he's just saying, "You know what, agent, whoever his agent is, handle it. I'm going to focus on what's on the field."
Right, and then hopefully he's given his agent some instruction of like, okay, this is what I'm not willing to hold out, or whatever you want, because you're in charge. You're the one paying for it, and so. But yeah, I mean, I just don't see that going the wrong way, because I think either way Charles is going to be happy, because Schneider just makes it that way, and I know they really value him, and he's been very solid. And we didn't talk about him a lot last year, but. Also, the offensive line just in general is just a down year for them.
Yeah.
And the other thing is if you're not talking about him, then that's probably a good thing, right? I mean,
he seemed to be the most consistent part of a very inconsistent line.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, we talked about all four of the other positions and
right.
Who's here, who's doing what, who did what well, who didn't, who got beat, blah, blah, blah. And he was kind of the one constant. And, yeah, he had his moments, but when the other four are so up and down, I don't know how that impacts you as a left tackle, but it didn't feel like a huge year. It wasn't a bad year. It was just sort of, all right, it was fine, and maybe that's why they didn't obviously extend him in the offseason and let him play his deal out. We'll see if anything happens.
Yeah, I mean, I think the way you look at that, it's kind of the Tyler Lockett thing, right? When Tyler Lockett drops a pass, then you notice it. Yeah. I think with Cross, he's earned that sort of status, and it involves him getting beat, obviously, but when he does get beat, you're like, oh man, Charles got beat.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's the kind of player he was last year. I think he's going to be even better this year, and just having that bedrock on your offensive line, I mean, it pretty much all starts with your left tackle.
He did express his desire, though, to remain in Seattle for his entire career.
I want to be in Seattle as long as I want to be in Seattle for my career. That's something I always thought of and wanted for myself. Hopefully we can get something done and it'll go that way.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you want to be here? I mean, it's beautiful out there. Who was it? Rashawn Jenkins that we had on? We had somebody
talking
on
about Eagles.
Yeah, he's talking about the Eagles and just the beautiful grass, and it's on the water.
He's
and
like, there's Eagles out there, man.
Yeah. Yeah. But it seems like he's kind of made this place home. So yeah, nice to hear there. And again, I was pulling in, and Schneider was going for a jog out there on that trail.
Oh.
And Mike, you were saying you ran into Mike Macdonald out there, and it's like the guys, the coaches and everybody, like you see famous people just running up and down.
Yeah, I imagine if you're there and you're one of these people who live in the neighborhood, you're just seeing them every day.
Or you're pretty nice trail. One of the autograph hounds that hangs out around the gate.
Oh, we shouldn't tell them that. They're going to just camp on the trail now.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But,
sorry, Mike Macdonald.
Schneider getting his work in before, but just brought him up because, I think he really values him, and listening to him talk about, not only Charles Cross, but his family and the way he's brought up and all those things. I mean, and that's part of it. That's part of giving somebody, $114 million, 92 guaranteed. You got to really trust that person and know that he's not going to go sideways or all of a sudden not practice as hard or whatever. So that's a big part of it, whether people want to believe that or not. It really is. I mean, you're looking for good, solid people, and so that's Charles is good people.
Well, and that's a tough position to find your guy. Right? I mean, every team's looking for their left tackle, that pillar that they don't have to worry about, that's protecting the blind side of the quarterback. And it's such a crucial position, yet it's hard to find that guy. So you're seeing that price tag go up. You're seeing how much teams are valuing, hey, we got our guy. Let's make sure we got him. Let's lock him up. I mean, it's just there are a lot of swings and misses on left tackles and O-linemen in general, but especially that spot.
Yeah, and get ready for it, because it's probably going to be in. I can't say that I've watched a ton of Rashawn Slater other than whenever we played the Chargers, but played in the preseason last year. But I think Charles is seen as one of the top.
You weren't looking at his rankings on.
I don't look at very often. So.
Especially when it comes to their evaluation of O-linemen.
Well, yeah, I mean, I just think that you can do a certain amount of it, but like, again, and one of the players like agreed with me on this. It's like, you don't know what the rules are.
Yeah.
You don't know if that guy is supposed to pick up this guy or whatever. Remember the guy that said, Wyman, you need to look at more film, and then he rattled off all of these, which were clearly stats.
Yeah.
Pro Football Focus, and then like, oh, is that what you did? You were looking at lots of film.
I enjoy the people that try to direct you and help you learn the game. that try to help you know ball. That's great. You're almost decade in the league. That didn't really matter much. It's what's on Boof.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I remember, didn't Chris Collinsworth start that?
Yeah, or he was part of I don't know that he created it, but I think he was part of the initial launch of it.
But I'll never forget, we were interviewing him, and he was like, well, most of us can tell if a guy gets beat or not. And I'm like, well, yeah, okay, sometimes. But there are other times where it's like, he needed help from the guard.
Yeah.
The guard's supposed to slide to the left, or
tight end was supposed to be
give him a chip block or whatever. So, yeah, I didn't really agree wholeheartedly with Chris Collinsworth on that one, that most people can figure it out. But, yeah.
All right, coming up, we'll get his thoughts on the Josh Naylor trade and everything else that the Mariners did over the weekend. Ryan Rowland-Smith is going to join us for his weekly conversation. That's coming your way next with Wyman and Bob, live from the Virginia Mason Athletics Center. It's Seattle Sports on 710.
Now batting for the Mariners, first baseman Josh Naylor.
The first contender to make the big move that says, we're all in.
Well, look at the Mariners striking first. How about that?
They did exactly what they needed to do at the deadline.
They do it without giving up a top 10 prospect.
It just kind of felt like, this is the right fit.
You're now looking at a 1 through 6 in your lineup that's deep. It's legitimate.
We're all over baseball's trade deadline on the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Well, I'm here with my good buddy, Dr. Dan Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine. And you've heard from Dr. Dan's patients over the years how a simple stem cell procedure has successfully conquered their pain. Well, folks, now it's my turn. After years of dealing with knee pain from all the football abuse, I can say my knee pain now is almost 100% gone. How'd you do it, Dr. Dan?
Well, Brock, personally, I'm very happy that you did so well. And your story is like so many of our other patients who come in, former athletes and non-athletes as well, who have come in with chronic knee pain, and they are looking for alternatives besides knee replacement surgery. And we're happy to provide this service. It's been truly a game changer for so many folks. It's just been a pleasure to be part of this.
Consider Dr. Nelson, the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques, including stem cell therapy. I was in and out with a couple of follow-ups. It's a non-surgical solution to pain using your own stem cells. Consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD at 425-823-4000 or visit danielnelsonmd.com. That's danielnelsonmd.com.
Dave Wyman here for Harley Exteriors. When you hear Harley Exteriors, I want you to think windows manufactured right here in Washington and specifically designed for our Pacific Northwest homes and climate. These are the windows you want. They look absolutely stunning, much better than a traditional vinyl window, and they're going to lower your energy bills and provide year-round comfort. They also come with a double lifetime, fully transferable warranty, meaning not only are you covered for glass breaking or damaged seals, it's going to help your resale and home value. These windows last up to 60 years. Harley Exteriors is making these windows affordable with options like 0 payments and 0 interest up to 12 months for qualified buyers. In July, Harley Exteriors is offering 50% off basic installation, no payments, no interest for 12 months, and an additional $200 off your project. Think Harley Exteriors for windows, doors, and more right here in the Puget Sound. Call 833-HARLEY or just go to harleyexteriors.com.
Are you worried about economic conditions, tariffs, and inflation? Are you tired of trying to time the stock market? Maybe it's time to take a little risk off the table given current market volatility. For stability, there's no better option than Legacy Group's Northwest Fund, a fixed return of 9%. Hi, I'm Scott Rirucka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. We've been running local real estate investment funds for over 18 years with 0 investor losses, averaging double-digit returns since inception, and we also accept IRAs. Over 1,000 local investors have invested over $250 million in our Legacy family of funds. Feeling uneasy? Don't gamble your hard-earned money or risk your retirement. Legacy Group's Northwest Fund, returning 9%, has limited openings for new investors right now.
Call 425-635-4700 or visit LegacyG.com. That's LegacyG.com.
This is not investment advice. Legacy investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
William is one of millions of Americans who uses GoodRx to save on the cost of their prescriptions.
My oldest daughter, Camilla, 2 days old, she had to have open heart surgery. All of a sudden, she's on 5 different medications. It adds up at the end of the month. Me and the pharmacist got so tight. She said, GoodRx save you a lot of money. Saving that extra $200-300 a month. We're able to do all these extra activities, so it puts less stress on our household, and it puts less stress on our pockets.
Download the free app or visit GoodRx.com and start saving today. GoodRx user compensated for their time. GoodRx is not insurance, but can be used instead of insurance.
I'm Matt Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Your car steering wheel could be a ticking time bomb. At least 24 people have died and many more injured because their airbags fired shrapnel at them upon inflating. Tens of millions of cars have been recalled. If you suffered cuts that required stitches, hearing or vision loss, or broken bones, please contact us today. You could be owed money for medical bills and other damages.
Morgan & Morgan. Visit us at badairbags.com for an office near you. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Mariners take to Sacramento minor league ballpark to take on the A's. Game 1 of that series coming your way tonight. A's are red hot. They won 4 in a row. They swept the Houston Astros over the weekend, and now the Mariners will see what they can get done against this team when they send Luis Castillo to the hill in Game 1. He'll face off against J.P. Sears. You can catch all the action starting at 6 o'clock with the pregame show. 7:05 first pitch right here, Seattle Sports on 710. Games going on right now in Baltimore, bottom of the second. No score between the Blue Jays and the Orioles. Top of the second in Detroit. Tigers out to a 1-0 lead over the Diamondbacks. They're in a weather delay in Cleveland. Rockies and Guardians yet to start. Still to come in a matter of moments. Yankees playing host to the Rays. Dodgers on the road to take on the Reds. Royals and Braves in Kansas City. Twins playing host to the Boston Red Sox. Cubs and Brewers. Phillies and White Sox. Cardinals and Marlins, and the Astros will host the Nationals.
Snapshot brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
This hour is serviced by the Lee Johnson Auto family.
I actually talked about it on You Betcha on the podcast.
He is an unrivaled source of baseball knowledge.
Anyway, what were we talking about?
A guy who always has your back.
Pants back on, try and make the uniform look sweet in a split second. Come out, and I'm trying to open the door. I'm like, what the? And I said, listen, buddy, put your babysitting shoes on because Dad's going out for Father's Day. You got to watch Top Gun. You guys don't listen when I speak. I'm talking to a brick wall right now.
Ryan Rowland-Smith, every week with Wyman and Bob.
That's the open right there.
Here he is, everybody. We look forward to this conversation each and every week. Look at him smiling ear to ear in his beautiful studio, the nice brick walls.
He's got something to say. I know. He's going to pop off right now. He's got something. He's just dying.
He's winding up. Ryan Rowland-Smith is with us. How are you, man?
I'm doing good. I've been sitting here since 3 p.m., by the way. Mike Lefko said, hey, man, look, we'll get you on at 3. We've got football to talk about. And then all of a sudden I said, how about 3:30 then? And he's like, hey, we've got someone else. Someone else is more important. So I've been sitting here since 3 o'clock, thanks to Mike Lefko, by the way.
Thanks, Ryan. That's enough for me today.
Wow.
We'll catch up with you next week.
Look at that.
Here I am, an hour later. Thanks, Mike.
Well, we appreciate your flexibility, Ryan. Thanks so much for that. Hey, before we get into the Mariners and what they did with the trade deadline to this point with Josh Naylor, I want to get your thoughts on Ichiro because you're a former teammate of his, and I thought his speech was outstanding yesterday. I thought he showed his sense of humor. I just thought he came off really. I love the Rick Riz thing he did. I thought it was great, and the shot at the writer that didn't vote for him. But just as a teammate, you saw some of that, right? Did you have any good stories that come to mind in your time playing with Ichiro?
Yeah, I got 1,000 good stories. Some, appropriate for radio. Some are not. And that's, I mean, no knock against him, man. Look, he was a great teammate. You got to get in with him, though. In other words, it's not a situation where he's going to come up and take you under his wing by any means. If you're a young player, that's just the way it goes. So if you come into this, as Michael Saunders will tell you, outfielder will be like. It's not like Ichiro is going to mentor him as another outfielder, right? Or me being some bullpen piece coming up from AAA. But if you put the effort in and treat him like a human being and not some godly figure, which he is, by the way, then all of a sudden that sense of humor shines through. I think the one that really sort of cracked open, well, a couple of things that cracked open, I think, for Ichiro Suzuki in that personality that we saw during that speech you talked about and some of that humor. Number one, I was messing with him in Atlanta about like saying I'm going to ask him to go have Chili's for dinner, right? Like messing around. Like there's no way, right? Like he's going to the nice, the nice restaurants, whatever.
The steakhouse or the.
Yeah, exactly, right? And so he came up to me. We had a day game in Atlanta, and he came up and said, hey, you want to go out for dinner? Because he knew I was messing around, saying, I'm going to hit up Ichiro, see if he wants to go to Applebee's or Chili's. Nothing wrong with those fine,
Not
establishments.
bragging. I got you.
Yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? And we had, I went out for 2.5 hours, sat there, and the most epic stories. Just, I was dialed in. I couldn't sleep that night, man. I was so dialed in. And so I actually put some effort in because I was messing with him prior to that. But I think in 2009, and I spoke to Mike Sweeney, who was there at the Hall of Fame. I spoke to him yesterday afternoon, actually. We had a great chat. And because I was trying to hit him up to join me to tell me Ichiro stories. And I think Mike Sweeney in 2009, my time with the Mariners in particular, just kind of opened him up. I think he went from that stage where comes to Seattle, to the United States, ton of pressure on him. And Mike Cameron was that dude who kind of opened him up. The team was doing well. And then all of a sudden the team wasn't doing great. He kind of went into his shell a little bit. And I think, not until some years later, especially in my time there, it took guys like, Griffey being there, Mike Sweeney, just kind of open him up to be one of the guys, man. And it was awesome, man. Those last couple of years of being with the Mariners and being with him, it was just all that humor you're talking about. Now, the godly aspect of Ichiro, he did things that no other human being did in a good way, and no one could reach that level. I swear to God, like it was 365 days of him putting himself in a position to be absolute maxing out his capacity, whereas guys like myself, may throw a couple good games, and then all of a sudden we're getting a couple brown Gatorades, after a game, or crushing burgers or whatever. You know what I mean? And so and I'm like looking at it going, man, I'm not like optimizing my health right now because I got to recover to go pitch again, because I'm just one of the dudes. He didn't do that, man. Everything was all in to be Ichiro Suzuki, and it was super impressive.
I got to imagine that has some kind of influence. We were talking about a guy for the Seahawks, Ryan, Devin Witherspoon, and you see how hard that guy plays and how fast he plays and everything. That it has to bring other guys along, right? And how much influence did he have in that clubhouse?
Yeah, massive, man. I mean, again, that's just a different level. And look, there's. Even for me, man, again, completely different positions, but just watching him and saying that's what is you're capable of doing if you have, the discipline he had, if you had, just some of the work ethic he had, second to none, man. And there's just so many little anecdotes from Ichiro Suzuki watching him work. I mean, here's one for you, which was so cool. I'll never forget it. You see guys slamming helmets, just breaking bats, throwing gloves, guilty of it. See, Ichiro, people may know this or they may not, but sometimes, on the road, if they'd go alphabetical, it'd be Rowland-Smith, starts with an R, and S for Suzuki, right? So alphabetically, I'm like, oh, man, I'm near him in the locker room, next to him most times. And it sucked because, you just get this horde of just Japanese reporters. No one's there to talk to me, obviously, but they're there to talk to him. So, like, there's no locker space, right? And I get it because it's him. But he'd sit there, he'd clean his shoes, polish his glove. He wouldn't let anyone touch his stuff. And it wasn't because he was like, oh, don't touch my stuff. It's like, no, because they're his weapons, his tools to go into battle. I thought it was the coolest thing ever. One thing, he couldn't handle dudes throwing their gloves, throwing their helmets, throwing their bats, because, like, they're your weapons, they're your tools. You're going into battle. Just little things like that, man. There's a million of those. But, yeah, man, he was something else. And it was very good experience for me having the chance to be his teammate.
I need him to come to my house. Still some discipline.
Oh, yikes.
Need some discipline, Bob.
Hey, Ryan, let's talk about this team. And they pulled off a big move. I love the move. In fact, you'd be surprised because you've seen our text line and you're on social media. There's always somebody that's going to be negative about anything. But I didn't see anybody that didn't love the Josh Naylor trade. Mm-hmm. It seemed a consensus, universal, like, oh, they went out and got a dude. They got a guy who's not 36, he's 28, and he's in the prime of his career, and he's a guy who's a problem in a lineup, and he's, he doesn't strike out a ton. He had a hit in each of the games he's played in so far, but what was your reaction to that move? Any surprise, or you like it, you don't like it? Where are you at with that?
Well, it's interesting. Like, anytime we're talking about Naylor and Geno Suarez, it's like, okay, you're sort of in your mind not really diving into some of the numbers. You're profiling this high strikeout, high power, 31 home runs last year. Maybe can't hit lefties. It's not the kind of hitter he is, period, at all. He's a way more complete hitter this year. He's handling lefties, obviously, because he's playing every day. Totally handling lefties. Obviously, the slug and everything's down from last year. But again, we've still got plenty of time to go. But, just watching what he was doing, like last year, one of the knocks on him was, strikeout numbers was a little up and not plus contact against lefties or really nothing doing. This year, that's not the case at all. So he can handle lefties, handle righties, more of a dynamic hitter. I love the fact, too, we saw this last couple of days where he's kind of willing to do some of those extra little things, man. And I'm saying this, like, for example, grabbing the extra base, being a little bit smarter on the bases. You don't want this station-to-station, high strikeout, all-or-nothing swing. The Mariners don't need that, man. They've got 48, 49% of their runs on home runs. You need something to complement. Once you get through the meat of that lineup, all right, this is going to be a problem. This is going to be a long at-bat. It's going to be a problem. And by the way, he can base run a little bit, which is weird thinking about Josh Naylor in that regard. But I say that because we just saw the Brewers at home, and I was paying attention to them. They're a team that didn't do anything. Matter of fact, they subtracted in the offseason. And here they are. They just play really smart. They're always grabbing that extra base on you. And the lineup is so much balance to that lineup with guys who you don't know who they are. And it's a tough one, man. Like I always look through this from a pitcher's lens. And you look at the Mariners, all right, top heavy, essentially, when you look at some of the damage. Then you get through the middle, obviously Cal, and then Randy, who's on a tear right now. And then after that, you're like, this is pretty pitchable. Now, all of a sudden, you add a Josh Naylor. It's not the case, man. That one hitter can kind of change that. Now, if you had a guy who had a high strikeout rate and was a home run threat, it's a little bit different because you can pitch a little bit differently. But more of that balance, man, I love it. But this is good. And by the way, too, look, on the offensive side, I can jump into getting a bullpen arm, and I love the fact Jerry DiPoto was pretty vocal about that. I still feel like they're going to go pretty hard here when there's some names popping up that I'm like, oh, God, please go get them. Cade Smith being one of them. Oh, man, I'm a huge Cade Smith fan. But just back to the D-backs and the Mariners, right? You look at this and say, okay, if the D-backs are willing to go ahead, make this move relatively early because they're still hovering in the NL West, they're willing to say, all right, we're going to sell off here a little bit. We've got some rental players we're going to sell off. You've just done a deal, whether it be through text message, phone calls, or whatever. All right, here's your Brandon Garcia. Here's another prospect for you, Nizzy. And give us Josh now. All right, great. Good. Shake hands. Boom. Now, all of a sudden, you kind of have a bearing of what the team you're dealing with has and what they're willing to give up. I think that gives, if you are going to go after a Geno Suarez, for example, and the price is right, I feel like it gives the Mariners a little bit of a leg up because now all of a sudden it's like, hey, look, let's just kind of keep the wheels turning here to try and make another move. Now, if they do go, and I've been telling you guys this all the time in regards to some of the bullpen help, man, that's going to cost you the least out of all this. So they did get a little bit of offense there, more of a balanced hitter. Now, in my opinion, go after that middle. I'm not saying middle of the pack bullpen in regards to go get someone. I'm saying get a high leverage arm and fill up that bullpen for those middle innings.
Hey, Ryan, you were talking about this on the postgame show yesterday about Logan Gilbert and just, the bottom of the fifth and how it kind of unwinds there and how frustrating it is. But, I mean, other than, it's just one of those games, for Logan. We know how good he is. But, I mean, this isn't anything that's, uncommon, right? Of his bottom of the fifth when, everything, he hits a batter, walks, things like that. What do you see at this point from Logan Gilbert?
I'm still saying you go back a start ago. And look, one thing with Logan Gilbert, and I'm saying this because of his size and because of he's really athletic, don't get me wrong. But he's got those long levers, and you feel like if he tries to overthrow, he's that guy that he does it, not saying often, but we've been seeing it a lot this year because he's had that kind of fluctuation in velocity early on. But when he tries to overthrow, those 1-inch misses that you get from, myself or someone else, for Logan, I feel like they turn into 3 or 4 inches of miss. When you saw that inning yesterday, you could see it from a mile away, man, just the frustration. And the other part of this is, too, you're in a pressure cooker because you know that the Mariners are coming back to the dugout, super frustrated with Hendricks on the other end of this, way below bat speed, slower than slow. They're coming back, probably throwing a helmet or whatever it may be. And you have that kind of angst in the dugout. And you had that, and I just could kind of see this building where it's like nothing. Logan's been outstanding. And then all of a sudden, chip away. And then, boom, that frustration hits you. Now, Logan, again, man, he's been on the ropes before, don't get me wrong. But I just felt like with him, there was just that one, I'm not going to call it a split second, but a good 3 minutes worth of anchoring on some of the bad stuff that was happening. And then all of a sudden it unraveled. And that's before the home run too, by the way. Because man, what's at stake. He hasn't been getting any run support all season. If you look at the numbers, man, he's up there in regards to the least amount of home run support. And so you could kind of just see that unraveling. Now, I still say this all the time. George Kirby and Logan Gilbert are moving further and further away from their little IL stints, right? George Kirby was on the ropes, the night before, or a couple nights before, whatever it was. And he was able to work out of it. That's huge. That's massive. You do that once or twice, man, you can get right back to that maximum output that you used to. I think with Logan, it was just that one instance, and we've just been seeing this a little bit where the ball gets sprayed, especially the fastball gets sprayed a little bit, and then all of a sudden he's 3-0, 3-1, 2-1, frustration, and then boom, that's where that chip away comes from, especially a lineup like that, man. And that's kind of what happened with Logan. And again, not to pile on here, but knowing that you're not going to get a whole lot of run support because of what was going on the other end, man, it was tough, and it sucks because he's really good.
Yeah, that's a frustrating element of what we saw, Ryan. I mean, yeah, Logan was just dealing, and then the wheels come off, and we've seen it with Kirby, we've seen it with Wu, we've seen it with, I feel like everybody in this rotation where they're just lightning, and they're just 3 up, 3 down, 3 up, 3 down, and once the first hit happens or the first walk, it just kind of comes apart. But you had 2 hits yesterday. You had 2 hits, and you went up against Kyle Hendricks, and he's a big leaguer. The guy was having a brutal July. He had an ERA just a shade under 7 in the month of July. His ERA end of the season is just under 5. So it's not like you had some guy who's on a hot streak and really rolling and came in here and shut him down. That's, I think, for a lot of Mariner fans, including me, that's the maddening part, is watching them just get locked down by a guy who's got no business locking them down.
Hey, I'm with you, man. I was watching that game, and look, I'm not making excuses by any means because obviously other teams have gotten to Kyle Hendricks, but he leaned into the situation that it's 2025 and you see 95 to 98 every outing, and then all of a sudden you're getting this 86s, 87s. It's like, man, it can be, you want to pull your hair out. Now, when I say leaned in, he went slower than slow and slower on slower, right? And you could just see it building up. And that's where that frustration comes. We've seen this from the Mariners too offensively, where it's all or nothing. Again, we talked about just under half the runs come on the home run ball. And there's just the inability to chip away or to get something going. We're all of a sudden, like the Brewers, man. I keep going back to the Brewers because we had a chance to see them front and center. That's a team I follow because you profile them very similar to the Mariners. You really do. And trying to create that balanced lineup. And that's what, when you were clicking on all cylinders, not just the long ball, not just the, hey, man, where's that 3-run bomb that the Mariners can get, and you don't get it, you need something else to happen as well. By the way, speaking of, just back to the Logan Gilbert thing. If you can get, in regards to this trade deadline, the Mariners are really well positioned, and I feel like Jerry DePoto has been very vocal about this in the front office. If you can get that extra bullpen help and you start to see a Logan Gilbert, even if it's the 5th inning, guess what? You can pull the trigger way faster on to cover those innings, because covering 4 innings compared to covering 3 is a completely different ballgame. It really is. And so I was watching that too, going, oh man, this is a perfect scenario. Me and Goldie in the first game back in the second half, I said, hey, keys to the second half. One of them was, Kirby and Logan doing their thing. And the middle innings, that was another big one, those middle innings. How are they going to bridge the gap to 8th and 9th? Because it's been pretty touch and go. It's been pretty inconsistent. And so that's where that bullpen piece helps. You probably wouldn't see a Logan in that situation, because Woody, man, Pete Woodworth, he knows his guys. He's looking, going, man, there's something up here. He's frustrated. Boom, let's get that bullpen cranking right now and get to it quicker in a situation like this.
Yeah, Kirby, you touched on that a little bit, and it was just kind of he has three walk games this year, and the last time he had 3 walks was like his rookie year. So It's just very uncommon for him. I mean, obviously we're complaining about something that, like, it never happens though with him, know, and he's kind of set a standard, right?
He has, and I'll be honest with you, watching him pitch, and I've said this to you guys before, when anyone who doesn't have that plus command gets frustrated, just like Logan Gilbert, then all of a sudden you see him spraying the ball. It's a typical pitcher thing, right? Spray the ball 2-0, 2-1. Oh, I got in bad counts. You hear it in the post game. Yeah, I just didn't get myself in good count. George is the opposite. He will give up some hits, get some frustration or whatever, and then he ends up in the middle of the plate, like middle of the plate, man, and in good counts too. So I'll be honest with you. If you know what, if he's willing to expand, maybe walk a hitter or two, he has got such good command that he can just go right back to, all right, I'm pitching on the black here. I'm going to make my pitch, and you have to give me some kind of contact. As opposed to, oh, hey, look, a situation where if he doesn't have his best bullets or he doesn't have that best command, I don't want to see him end up in the middle of the plate. So I'll be honest with you. Seeing George Kirby more lately in regards to, love the plus command, don't get me wrong. But you know what? If he's going to walk 2 hitters because he's not giving in, I'm all for it, because the next hitter, man, his big weapon is that command, right? So he's going to get on the black and make something happen. So I've got no problem with that whatsoever. With the base on ball, with the walk rate from George, because I think he's in a really good spot right now. He's going to have a massive second half.
Ryan, I asked this question earlier for our listeners. I'm curious to get your answer to this. If hypothetically Mariners don't make the playoffs, will the biggest reason be their offense, or will it be their pitching?
Pitching, 100%. And I'll even go, depending on what happens this second half, you'll look back and go, man, we've really, fell flat on our face, splat, with the rotation. With some injuries thrown in there, you got Bryce Miller, who's pretty much missed more time than he's been pitching. You've got 7 weeks off of Logan Gilbert. He hasn't been as sharp, not getting as deep into games. And you've also got, George Kirby missed time. And so if they miss the playoffs, obviously the pitching won't be as good in this second half, let's say, looking in the future. And that would be something that, man, you have to look at and say, how do we sort of restructure this rotation? Hey, listen, we saw Cade Anderson the other day. And I'm talking about this on the upcoming new episode of The Top Step. But listen, think about this. The last 2 off seasons, we've talked about, are they willing to dismantle that rotation to make a trade? Because that's how they're going to, get that bat or whatever via trade. They're not going to do it so much through free agency. Now, I have always said, don't do it, man. If you've got this rotation, don't do it. But what we've seen this year, and the fact you might have this emergence from Cade Anderson, who's going to be a stud, coming from where he's come from and how good he is and everything else. Well, maybe that you talk about this offseason, maybe you start looking at dismantling this rotation. You start profiling a little bit differently, or restructuring what you have 1 through 5.
Well, there you go. You didn't even take a second to think about that. Pitching.
Yeah.
Pitching.
I know.
100%. And I think most people would say the offense.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Hey, they've been the top 5 offense at times of the year. I'm telling you, and they're mid. Listen, this team coming out of spring training, you have somewhere close to the pitching they had last year, and a mid-range offense. Or I say this: if you had the offense you had this year last year, oh man, you're cruising into the playoffs. So that's the way I look at it.
Yeah. Ryan, we appreciate you, my friend. As always, great stuff, and look forward to doing it again next week.
No worries. I'll let you get back to your little football news, whatever you're doing over there.
Your little football
camp, your little kids camp over there.
We appreciate it. Thanks, man.
See you guys.
There you go. Our weekly conversation with Ryan Rowland-Smith is presented by Mazda of Everett. A reminder, the Seahawks preseason home opener is next Thursday. And today is the last day you can enter to win 4 tickets to watch the Seahawks take on the Raiders in person. All you need to do is open the Seattle Sports app and click the Win tab to find out how. If you don't already have the app, just text the word app, APP, to 866-979-3776. We'll send you a link to download it. It's completely free, so take advantage of that. Meanwhile, Jerry DiPoto had an injury update on one key Mariner player. We're going to hear that coming up next with Wyman and Bob, live from the Virginia Mason Athletic Center at Seattle Sports on 710.
Seahawks training camp is underway.
That is music to the ears.
And nobody gives you more insider access than the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Coach Macdonald sitting down with us right now. This thing on and ready for you.
Watch how the Seahawks roster comes together.
Seattle Sports training camp coverage is presented by the Landing in Renton.
Seahawks training camp on Seattle Sports on 710, the Seattle Sports app, and the Seattle Sports YouTube page.
Hi, Zoe Saldana. Welcome to T-Mobile. Here's your new iPhone 16 Pro on us.
Thanks. And here's my old phone to trade in.
You don't need a trade-in. When you switch to T-Mobile, we'll give you a new iPhone 16 Pro. Plus, we'll help you pay off your old phone up to $800, and you still get to keep it.
There's always a trade-in.
Not right now at T-Mobile.
I feel like I have to give you something in return for karma.
That's okay.
I don't really have much in my purse. Oh, let's see. Hand sanitizer. It's lavender.
I'm good. Seriously.
Let me check this pocket. Oh, mints?
Really, I'm fine.
Oh, I have raisins. I'm a mom. Wait 1 sec. I've got cupcakes in the car.
It's our best iPhone offer ever. Switch to T-Mobile. Get a new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence on us. No trade-in needed. We'll even pay off your phone up to $800.
With 24 monthly bill credits, new line $100 plus a month on experience beyond finance agreement $999.99 and qualifying forwarded. For well qualified plus tax and $10 connection charge. Pay off via virtual prepaid card. Allow 15 days. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. See T-Mobile.com.
Free consultations, no fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
Hey, golf fans, Jordan Babineau here. Get ready for an unforgettable weekend at the 2025 Boeing Classic. Come see Masters champions and Hall of Fame golfers battle it out at the club at Snoqualmie Ridge, August 8th through the 10th. Bring the whole family and check out Seahawks Village, packed with fun for all ages. Plus, celebrate 20 years of the Boeing Classic, supporting the Benaroya Research Institute at Virginia Mason Franciscan Health. It's more than just golf. It's an experience you won't want to miss. August 8th through the 10th. Tickets start at just $20 and kids get in free. Visit BlowingClassic.com for more.
Hi, Zoe Saldana. Welcome to T-Mobile. Here's your new iPhone 16 Pro on us.
Thanks. And here's my old phone to trade in.
You don't need a trade-in. When you switch to T-Mobile, we'll give you a new iPhone 16 Pro. Plus, we'll help you pay off your old phone up to $800, and you still get to keep it.
There's always a trade-in.
Not right now at T-Mobile.
I feel like I have to give you something in return for karma.
That's okay.
I don't really have much in my purse. Oh, let's see. Hand sanitizer. It's lavender.
I'm good. Seriously.
Let me check this pocket. Oh, mints?
Really, I'm fine.
Oh, I have raisins. I'm a mom. Wait 1 sec. I've got cupcakes in the car.
It's our best iPhone offer ever. Switch to T-Mobile. Get a new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence on us. No trade-in needed. We'll even pay off your phone up to $800.
With 24 monthly bill credits, new line $100 plus a month on experience beyond finance agreement $999.99 and qualifying ported. For well qualified plus tax and $10 connection charge. Payoff via virtual prepaid card allow 15 days. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. See T-Mobile.com.
The home of the Mariners.
Left off to center. It is on its way. Julio, 2-run home run.
Hear every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
History, it had the gold rush. Then came the oil boom, the tech boom, but right now it's the Wi-Fi boom, and Xfinity Wi-Fi is booming. Xfinity has everything you need to tap into the Wi-Fi boom with seriously powerful and seriously reliable connection. It's got 99.99% network reliability and incredibly low lag, so your streams are smoother than making a decision on what to stream. And did I mention that you can even connect to hundreds of devices so you, your kids, your parents, your poker group, and whoever else is at home can all experience the Wi-Fi boom with Xfinity. And the Wi-Fi isn't the only thing that's booming. Get the most reliable Wi-Fi and our best in-class equipment for one consistent price for 5 years guaranteed all in. Plus get unlimited data included and no annual contract, all with the 5-year price guarantee from Xfinity. Visit Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY or visit a store today. Restrictions apply, not available in all areas. New residential customers only. Select plans only. Xfinity Gateway with X5 Complete required for unlimited data except in certain areas. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024. Actual speeds vary.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
This hour is serviced by the Lee Johnson Auto family.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Wyman and Bob.
Weekdays 2 to 7
on Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Our thanks to Ryan Rowland-Smith, who joined us in the previous segment. If you guys are just tuning in and missed that conversation, you'll be able to find it on the podcast page after the show at seattlesports.com. Meanwhile, Jerry DiPoto was on the front office show on Sirius XM MLB Network Radio over the weekend. Had a couple of updates about improving the lineup and the health of the rotation. Here he is talking about Ben Williamson, giving him praise, but also said they've got to look at that spot as a position to improve.
I will say this, Ben Williamson is not a whole lot of minor league time before he was run into the big leagues. We had a weird set of circumstances, and he's been exactly what we could have hoped him to be. And here we are, we're in July, and we're in a pennant race, and I think most days you want them to hit Ben Williamson, the ball for the last out of the game. He's just been that good defensively. You know, and he's sitting at the bottom of the lineup. He chips in and gives you a gritty at bat, and it's not a light stick. He just hasn't really tapped into his power yet. But he's 24 years old. We think there's a ton of time for him to contribute. We don't want to rob him of his opportunities, but you know, if there's a way we can get better and put a more impactful team on the field, we have to at least be aware of what that is.
Yeah. Translation, we thought Polanco was going to be our guy. Weird circumstance. It didn't work. Third defensively, obviously. But, yeah, I mean, I think he's saying what most Mariner fans are saying. You're excited about this kid. You love who he is defensively. You got to have more production. He's got 1 home run on the season. I think he's got, 20 runs driven in, maybe 21, something like that. But 21, I was way off. But, yeah, I mean, 1 homer, you need more out of your corner spots. You went out, you got Naylor. We'll see what kind of production comes with him. But, you know, you need more, and third base is really your obvious spot right now.
Yeah, and you look at his OPS is kind of the telling number there, right? 596. So
that's not great.
Yeah, and you know, it's funny. They have him listed. I didn't even think to look at his height and weight. 6 foot 210. When we interviewed him,
I wasn't with you when you.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
That's right.
But he does not appear to be 6 feet
no.
tall to me when I've stood by him in the clubhouse.
No, and then you look at like his upper body. I mean, he just looks like a guy that maybe needs to put some muscle on and become that guy, because I mean he's been a good hitter, but not what you need typically there. And then the defensive part of it is awesome, but.
And he's hitting above league average, which is weird. I heard Goldie say it I think he said the league average is 234, 235, which is sounds brutal. But he's hitting in the 250s. So I mean he's doing that part of the job and he's playing the defense. But you're in a situation where you got this offense that is extremely bipolar. Right, it's very hot and cold, this offense, and you don't know what you're going to get on any given night, and some of that comes with you got two young guys in the lineup, and you like what you've seen out of Cole Young, you like what you've seen out of Williamson, but can you afford to have two guys that at this point aren't very productive hitters in a lineup that already is a little light? Yeah, that home run, by the way, came in like his 5th game this year, so that was in Toronto. So that was a long time ago, but I didn't really expect him to, I thought he's a great defender, but the average is pretty good, but it's just you got to get it from somewhere, and I'm still wondering if Eugenio is the answer. We'll see. I mean, I like that they're in the mix and talking about, they're making the calls and again, Suarez is a guy that is in demand, and maybe they've got plans B and C and D, and who knows who those players are. We'll see what they come up with. I love that they went out and got Naylor. I've got no complaints about that deal at all. I think it was a brilliant move on their part, and hopefully they can find that leverage arm in the bullpen. Somebody sent in a text earlier saying, well, if they were only going to make one more move, what would you want it to be? Would it be a bat or would it be an arm? And I was like, if they're only going to make one, I'd want that leverage arm in the bullpen. Yeah. Really? Over a hitter? Yeah. Yeah. I think they need, Ryan kind of crystallized that when we were talking about, Logan struggling, and there's you look at your bullpen and go, God, can we go to him here when you got to cover 4 innings as opposed to 3 innings, and you kind of don't have that luxury in the bullpen. Sure would have been great if Santos worked out, but to this point, that has been a swing and a miss. No pun intended. That has just not been a good deal. He just can't get healthy, so he was thought to be that other leverage arm you could have in there. It's not been him. So we'll see. I think they'll do both, hopefully. Get that leverage arm in the bullpen and another bat. Either or. Yeah, I think that Texter was just throwing out the hypothetical. If it's only going to be one more, which should it be? Yeah. One other update, Dipoto gave an injury update on Bryce Miller and his potential return.
Bryce threw a 2-inning live session on Friday, and he's built up to about 40 pitches. His fastball is back in the mid, touching 97, and he's going to now be on a normal 5-6 day rehab schedule to build him up. If all goes well, we should have him back in our rotation no later than the middle of August, which would be for another couple of weeks, and that'd be a pretty exciting addition for us.
It'd be huge, depending on what version of him you get. Is it going to take him? He's going to get his rehab starts, and then they'll bring him up, and then we'll see. You're facing big league hitters now, and how much different is it? How long does it take you? We're watching Logan and Kirby try to find their footing, and one game it looks like they're back. This is him. This is that guy. And then the next game, he's that guy. Oh, and then came the 5th inning or the 6th inning, and the wheels came off. So we haven't seen those guys get back to their full version of themselves yet. How long will it take for Miller to get there? Yeah, I think he's been maybe, and I don't mean this may not sound right, but the most disappointing why do you hate him, player? And it's just because of the injury. Yeah. I mean, that's been so disappointing. I mean, I was so fired up to see what kind of year he was going to have, just because, we had so many people talking about him, and, people that know pitching. And yeah, that one, I think. What do you think about Charlie Furbush? Charles was talking about possibly putting Bryce Miller in the bullpen. Charles? Yeah. Oh. How about that? Charles Furbush. That's what I like to call him, Charles. It's formal. That's what his close friends call him. Yeah, that's right. I don't know. I mean, I guess it depends on if you get that leverage arm. Do you need to? Is that is that going to do him any good? Right now, they're trying to stretch him out. Right
Yeah.
now, they're trying to get him. They're saying he's up to 40 pitches. They're going to continue to do every fifth day and try to stretch him out and get him in a position to be that guy. So it doesn't sound like that's.
Oh, I thought it was interesting anyway. I
Yeah.
was the only one that really brought that up, but and he would know. But yeah, that was again like not disappointing because he's had a bad year. It's just the fact that he hasn't been available.
Yeah, it's been a huge bummer to say the very least. And he's just your two constants have been Wu and Castillo in terms of their presence.
Right.
And what makes it more amazing for Wu is he was the one guy, and we've said this before, that if you came into the season and said, well, which guy do you worry about, their ability to, give you innings and make every start, probably would have been Wu. Because that's been his story so far, right? He didn't start this season on time last year. He pitched really well last year, but he wasn't there in April, so he didn't get there till May. He's been overall fantastic. So we'll see what Miller is when he gets back. Lefko asked the question, who do you have more trust in that fifth spot over the final 2 months? Miller, Logan Evans, or Emerson Hancock? If you get close to the version of Miller from last year, it's a no-brainer. Yeah, it's Miller. It's just which version is he going to be when he comes back. So we'll see. Hopefully, a couple rehab starts, 2, 3, whatever it's going to be, and he's ready to go in mid-August or whatever Jerry's sort of speculating timeline-wise, then that would be a huge boost to this rotation. Meanwhile, our coverage of Seahawks training camp is brought to you by The Landing in Renton. Coming up, is there a reason to think the Seahawks D-line will be even better this season? We're going to hear about that when we sweep the dial. Coming up with Wyman and Bob live from the Virginia Mason Athletic Center. It's Seattle Sports on 710.
ESPN senior MLB insider Jeff Passett with Brock and Saul.
Right before the trade deadline, where does this roster sit out of the 30 in baseball?
There is no dominant team this year, guys. It is a wide open landscape in Major League Baseball. There is no dominant team. And if you can put yourself in the position where you get one of those golden tickets, I firmly believe the Seattle Mariners can win a World Series this year.
Get more on the Seattle Sports YouTube page and the Seattle Sports app.
For Swedish Cyberknife, and we had Andy Ryder. Andy Ryder is the mayor of Lacey, and he's also a Swedish Cyberknife patient. We had him and Dr. Landis from Swedish Cyberknife both in the studio a few weeks ago, and a couple of things that really stood out about Swedish Cyberknife treatment. Number one, it only takes 5 sessions. Andy was able to complete the treatment in 1 week, Monday through Friday, while continuing to work full-time, and each treatment session lasts less than an hour. So he was able to remain comfortable, work during the rest of the day, and he could wear street clothes, didn't experience any side effects other than just mentioning he was a little bit tired. But, I mean, you compare that with other treatment methods where you have to have surgery or a catheter. I mean, it's night and day. Also, it was really cool to see the relationship between Andy and Dr. Landis. And Andy, you can see he holds him in very high regard, and rightfully so. Dr. Landis is a multiple-time recipient of the Seattle Top Doctor Award. And we talk a lot around here about building a sports team and trying to find stars and superstars. Swedish Cyberknife truly has that. It's an all-pro roster of doctors and world-renowned experts in their field, just like Dr. Landis. So Swedish Cyberknife, they treat patients from all over the state, and you don't need a physician's referral. You can reach out to them directly. So if you've been diagnosed with prostate cancer, go to swedish.org/cyberknife-prostate. Treat prostate cancer with Swedish Cyberknife.
You still have 40 million plus vehicles globally that are driving around with a potential ticking time bomb, a grenade in either their steering wheel or their dashboard. When we look to what injuries may have transpired from a defective airbag, we generally see loss of vision in an eye, or we see facial lacerations. We also see hearing loss. Unfortunately, we started seeing death after death after death. When that passenger airbag exploded, it basically degloved his entire face. He lost his nose, he lost his right eye. The type of catastrophic injuries that one is more accustomed to seeing in a Hollywood movie, and not something from a device in an automobile that's supposed to protect you. Morgan & Morgan has a national reach in terms of handling and prosecuting cases. Notwithstanding the team of lawyers that we have collected that focus only on product liability, day in and day out.
Morgan & Morgan. Visit us at badairbags.com for an office near you. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want to boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
Seattle Sports is giving you a shot at 4 tickets to see the Seahawks host the Raiders August 7th. Just open the Seattle Sports app, tap the Win tab in the bottom right corner, and enter. You can enter once per day, so the more you enter, the better your chances. Enter daily from July 23rd through 28th. Full details and rules at seattlesports.com/win. Only from the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports. The home of the Mariners.
One hopper snared at short. Not a quick hop by J.P. Crawford. That guy's a magician over there at shortstop.
Seattle Sports.
Download the Seattle Sports app.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. 1 discount per household.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877 Cars for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877 Cars for Kids.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Get in the game at Hoops on the Pier. Friends of Waterfront Park and Rise Above are hosting a 2-day youth basketball camp at Pier 62 for ages 6 to 16. It's free, it's fun, and it's right on the water. July 31st and August 1st. Plus, open courts during the afternoons. Open to all ages and abilities. Don't have a basketball? No worries. We have a ball for you. Live out your hoops dreams on the waterfront. More info at waterfrontparkseattle.org. Brought to you by Friends of Waterfront Park.
Scanning the airwaves for the most interesting and entertaining stories of the day. Sweeping the dial. Every afternoon at 4:45 with Wyman and Bob.
Presented by Silver Reef Casino Resort.
Well, we heard a couple of clips from Ichiro earlier in the day about how self-deprecating he can be and how funny he can be. But I think the best one was the one he dropped here. He mentioned how proud he is of all his accomplishments and then thanks to writers for voting him in.
Baseball taught me what it means to be a professional, and I believe that is the main reason I am here today. Not because my skills are better than others. 3,000 hits or 262 hits in one season are achievements recognized by the writers. Well, all but one of you.
All but one of you. Did you clipped off the end where he said in your invitation to dinner?
I think that got lost a little bit.
Oh, that was the best part of it. He said, paraphrasing, basically, invitation to dinner at my house. has expired.
The way he said it, too, was like so dramatic. Expired.
Yeah.
It was like it was Arnold Schwarzenegger or something with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he was fantastic.
I thought he nailed it. I thought he was, I mean, again, obviously it's not his first language, and he's so conscientious about being understood and making sure his message. That was why he always used the interpreter. He just felt comfortable, wanted to make sure he wasn't, being misquoted or misunderstood. And for him to do a speech of that length under that sort of spotlight with that many eyes on it, he nailed it.
Yeah, I just think, I mean, if you were, let's say you have a beer and maybe have a second one in front of him, and he gives you a look like, that's disappointing. I mean, I feel like he's that kind of guy.
Would that stop you?
What's that?
Would that stop you?
Probably not.
David, go look the other way. There's more coming.
Yeah.
Sweeping the dial.
Leonard Williams was talking over the weekend after Seahawks practice, and people are kind of curious the impact that DeMarcus Lawrence could have. Well, at least in terms of a leadership role, Williams is talking about the bond that he's seen develop between Derick Hall and DeMarcus Lawrence.
Yeah, I do. We joke around, saying that D-Law has the little brother he never had, and D-Hall has the big brother he never had, and, they're competing and talking smack with each other all the time, but then they're also giving each other tips. I think D-Law is just a great veteran for him to have right now.
He's kind of the forgotten addition to this team.
Yeah.
We've talked a lot, obviously, about Darnold and Cooper Kupp, and you forgot about DeMarcus Lawrence, and this is a guy that can have an impact, to say the least. I mean, he's a proven commodity in this league, and maybe beyond his impact, his influence on somebody like Derick Hall, who we're waiting to see him sort of refine his game and become that consistent force on that side of the ball.
Yeah, well, and also, like, Jonathan Hankins just loves him. You hear Jay Reed talking about Lawrence, and there was an article I saw where they didn't edit it out, and he was talking about how basically, how I call, and I heard this from one of the security guys, that Jaron Reed's a goon, and you have to have goons on your team.
Right.
You just have to. I was a goon.
Yeah.
I would say,
especially in basketball.
Yeah. But he was talking about, Jay Reed was talking about Lawrence and basically describing him in that way. So, but yeah, the whole big brother, little brother thing. I mean, I feel like those guys can help each other, but you can tell the admiration for DeMarcus Lawrence in the locker room. I mean, it's very significant, and that's a guy that we haven't really talked about that much.
Yeah,
we had him on. I think, did we interview him first when he came to town? And
yeah, right when he signed.
Yeah. And I haven't really thought that much about him, but he's a fantastic player.
By the way, Leonard Williams, I love hearing from that guy. What a great acquisition by John. What a great addition to this team.
Incredible.
Sweeping the dial.
Kind of got lost in the shuffle after a 4-0 deficit, but Cal Raleigh just continued to extend his home run lead. Here is home run number 41.
Hendricks winds, deals. Swung on. That is driven center field. Adele is back. He's at the track. He's looking up, and it is gone. Cal Raleigh has done it again. Number 41. He is tied for 4th all-time for catcher home runs in a season. He continues to climb the ladder of history.
It's great to see on a very down day. That was one of 2 hits on the day. Although JP did have a home run robbed by Adele.
Yeah,
where he pulled it back from over the fence. But yeah, it's great to watch Cal continue with what he's doing. The second half is going to be very interesting to watch and see if that pace slows down at all. And he got a little help in terms of his competition there, because Aaron Judge is on the IL.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So
that competition for MVP and the home run race, it's now between, depending on how long Judge is out, but it's between him and Shohei Ohtani and Gino Suarez.
Yeah, and last 2 games of the series, hits a dinger and a couple RBIs, but strikeouts have been pretty under control as far as, he had a couple of 3 strikeout games, but couple three, yeah. But you look at that. He had a stretch there where he went like 3 for 9 or 12 or whatever it was, and 0 strikeouts in those games.
Yeah. It's they're going to need him. They're going to need him to remain. I don't expect him to. He's not hitting the average the way he was in terms of that, but you need him to be a consistent threat in that lineup. They need Julio to continue with what he did in the first 3 games of this series. And depending on who they pick up, we'll see. You know, Randy's starting to get hot, obviously. We've seen him on not starting. He's been hot. And it's yesterday they just, I don't know. I'm still buckled by the fact they got shut down by Hendricks. It'd be different if they'd gone up against Skeens or Skubal or Crochet or one of those guys. You're going, okay, man, look, the guy on the other side's, you know, Cy Young caliber or Cy Young Award winner. He went up against a guy who's just been getting his butt handed to him in the month of July, and he went out there and just locked you down. It just maddening, absolutely maddening.
Well, and I agree with people that said they've already made their mind. They know what they're going to do. I mean, it may be come down to, you know, the details of what they're going to trade or whatever. But some people might like that. You know, you split with the Angels, but you have a 2-hit game. I mean, it's very glaringly obvious.
Yeah,
to me anyway.
And I understand you've got some lefties in the lineup that don't hit lefties well. You got to stop bringing Dylan Moore in as a pinch hitter. He came up there as a pinch hitter and struck out on 3 pitches.
How do you feel about Dylan Moore as a starter?
I don't.
He's starting today at shortstop. So J.P. Crawford is the day off.
I don't love it.
Yeah.
Maybe he gets rolling. Maybe he gets a couple base knocks or gets one in this game. He's your pinch hitter. He comes in 3 pitches, whiff, whiff, whiff. He's out. He just looks so lost at the plate that even a guy who's just got terrible splits, I'm talking about a lefty, if it's Raible, if it's any other lefty in the lineup and you want to bring in a righty, just let him go. Just let Raible hit against the left. Let every lefty hit against the lefty and leave Solano, leave Dylan Moore on the bench, except for today, I guess, since he's starting. So.
Well, those guys are both set up to have some kind of a resurgence, right? Because the numbers are so far off.
I guess.
Progression to the mean.
I hope
we're
so.
gonna get.
You're bearish on him, dude.
I hope so. Well,
right now I'm bullish.
Bullish, yeah.
He'll get a number of opportunities today since he's starting the game. Meanwhile, there are a couple of things that Mike Macdonald wanted to see in the first padded practice of the season. We'll let you hear what he had to say coming up next. It's Wyman and Bob live from the Virginia Mason Athletic Center. It is Seattle Sports on 710.
Now batting for the Mariners, first baseman Josh Naylor.
The first contender to make the big move that says, we're all in.
Well, look at the Mariners striking first. How about that?
They did exactly what they needed to do at the deadline.
They do it without giving up a top 10 prospect.
It just kind of felt like, yeah, this is the right fit. You're now looking at a 1 through 6 in your lineup that's deep, that's legitimate.
We're all over baseball's trade deadline on the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
When your outside matches how you feel on the inside, that's kindness. And so I think that is the one thing that the Lee Johnson Auto family encourages us, is to be like really authentic and really be intentional in how we treat our customers and how we treat each other.
To have a good company, have a good culture, have a good crew that takes care of your customer base, you have to take care of your crew. You can't have miserable people and expect them to give a customer a good experience.
Walking in here, meeting some of the employees already before I was even hired on, welcoming me in, gave me a good indication what this company was all about. So if I were to make an hour and a half drive here and to have fun here for 8 to 9 hours a day versus if it's the other way around, then I'll take it.
It's not a script. It's a belief. The LJ Way is the Lee Johnson Auto family.
Need a new roof, a deck, siding, windows? Get up to $3,000 off any new installation. Hi, it's Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. Home projects can add up fast, but we're here to help you save big. Book now and lock in up to $3,000 off in savings. That's $3,000 off any new installation. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com to schedule your free estimate today. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
Dave Wyman here for Harley Exteriors. When you hear Harley Exteriors, I want you to think windows manufactured right here in Washington and specifically designed for our Pacific Northwest homes and climate. These are the windows you want. They look absolutely stunning, much better than a traditional vinyl window, and they're going to lower your energy bills and provide year-round comfort. They also come with a double lifetime, fully transferable warranty, meaning not only are you covered for glass breaking or damaged seals, it's going to help your resale and home value. These windows last up to 60 years. Harley Exteriors is making these windows affordable with options like 0 payments and 0 interest up to 12 months for qualified buyers. In July, Harley Exteriors is offering 50% off basic installation, no payments, no interest for 12 months, and an additional $200 off your project. Think Harley Exteriors for windows, doors, and more right here in the Puget Sound. Call 833-HARLEY or just go to harleyexteriors.com.
Hey, Brock Ewart here for my friends over at PCF Construction. If you're seeking a complete outdoor living space or a very specific project like an underdeck ceiling, maybe a new deck, patio cover, railings, well, my friends at PCF have you covered. This summer, well, you can enjoy 12 months of no interest and no payments. And how about this? Plus 50% off a design and architectural drawing package or up to $5,000 off an undercover system. If you're looking at your outside and saying, golly, what a beautiful summer in the Pacific Northwest, and we can't take advantage of it, well, take advantage of these offers today. If you've been wanting that new deck, that new patio cover, make the call. Get online right now and connect with my friends at PCF. You can find all the offer details. You can get project ideas, and you can browse photos at pcfgroup.com or call today at 425-629-8476. Don't let this offer pass you by. It's 425-629-8476.
At Progressive, we understand the bond you have with your boat. It's why people name theirs.
I named my boat Sure Don't. Get it? The other day when my friend said, "Hey, Larry, you want to head back in? It looks like it might rain." I said, "Sure don't." I guess they didn't get it because they didn't laugh.
Whatever you call your boat, protect it by insuring it with Progressive, America's #1 boat insurer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. #1 rating based on boat market share data from refilings.com.
Whether you're building a single roof or a successful roofing business, roofing contractors like you need the right tools for the job, and software is no exception. Service Titan is on a mission to be the most powerful software platform for the trades, with purpose-built technology proven to maximize revenue, streamline operations, and deliver 5-star customer experiences. We are taking roofing companies like yours to the next level and beyond. Service Titan. We are built for this. See what we can do for roofers at servicetitan.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Mariners looking to get back in that win column after dropping the finale to the Angels yesterday, splitting that series 2 games apiece. They start their series with the A's in Sacramento tonight at Sutter Health Park. Quite a building there where the Mariners will send Luis Castillo to the hill. He'll face off against J.P. Sears. You can catch it all starting at 6 o'clock with the pregame show. 7:05 first pitch right here, Seattle Sports on 710. Game's going on right now. Blue Jays trailing the Orioles 6-4 in Baltimore. That one in the bottom of the 4th. Right now, Tigers putting it on the Diamondbacks 4-0 in the top of the 6th. Still in a weather delay in Cleveland. Rockies and Guardians yet to get started. Top of the 3rd. Yankees and Rays tied at 2 apiece. Dodgers and Reds are tied at 1 apiece in Cincinnati, headed to the top of the 4th. Top of the 2nd in Kansas City, Royals up 2-0 on the Braves. It's the Red Sox and Twins scoreless, headed to the bottom of the 2nd. Bottom of the 1st, Cubs and Brewers. It's the Cubs up 3-0 on the Brewers. Phillies and White Sox scoreless in the bottom of the 2nd. Cardinals and Marlins scoreless in the top of the 2nd. Still to come, Astros and Nationals. Rangers on the road to take on the Angels. Padres host the Mets. And the Giants and Pirates get together in San Francisco.
Snapshot brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Wyman and Bob.
On Seattle Sports.
Streaming live on the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton.
A reminder, our coverage of Seahawks training camp is brought to you by The Landing in Renton. Well, the Seahawks getting things done today. The first padded practice of the season. Good to see some hitting out there. No tackling to the ground, but there was definitely hitting. And after Friday's practice, Mike Macdonald was outlining a bunch of things he'd like to see that he liked, and it's things he still wanted to see after the Seahawks finished the first few days of practice. And here he's just talking about the O-line and what he's learned from watching their drills to this point.
You know, we talked earlier in the offseason about what makes a great drill. And, if you guys stand over there, it's very apparent after, standing there for 15, 20 seconds, what the expectation is, what makes a great rep, and, immediate feedback, really simple, clear. That's what's going on. So it's fun to be over there.
Yeah, that's what they do. Right there on the spot, they correct things. And John Benton is kind of an old school guy. And also, he has that same coaching style as Mike Macdonald, direct, very direct. And, look, maybe it hurts the rookies' feelings. Don't really care. But, for the vets.
Why do you hate the rookies? What do they do?
The vets, they don't, they want exactly the truth. Please help me get better, right? So, no, I'm sure it doesn't hurt their feelings. I mean, he's not doing it in a personal way. And that's the thing that Mike has. Like he'll be very direct, but he doesn't make it personal.
Right.
It's like he's not being a jerk.
He's not out there going, "What is your major malfunction? What is wrong with you?"
Yeah, no, I mean he's doing it in a way that's, the whole thing comes through very clearly. But,
did you ever have a coach at the pro level that made it personal with you?
Yeah, I mean Rusty Tillman and I had kind of had that. He took credit for me being drafted by the Seahawks because he came and worked me out, and I went to bat for you and this and that. So, yeah, sometimes, but that wasn't like out in front of everybody. And one time we had a come to Jesus meeting one time because I wasn't playing up to the level where he thought. But, yeah, I mean, I think there's a fine line there, though, to do that right because you want your coach to respect you. And if you're coming from, like, especially if you're a first or second or third rounder, you've got some pride built up, and now all of a sudden you have somebody that's like tearing you down in a kind of I don't want to say mean way, but kind of like unnecessary.
I bet he would have loved it if you said, "Coach, why are you being so mean to me?"
Yeah,
he would have responded well.
Don't you see that you're hurting my feelings?
I'm a human being. I've got feelings, Coach. Right. One other thought from Mike Macdonald on the O-line talks about when they'd like to have the starters set on that line.
I think you got to just trust the process. I think if you start putting a timeline on it, you might be forced to make a decision that's probably maybe immature, or maybe you're waiting too long. Maybe it declares itself, before. And you just don't know those things. So we got a lot of experience coaching those guys. It's interesting from my perspective to watch it as well, and kind of as we bounce ideas off one another as this thing starts to declare itself. But I mean, you definitely have to get in next week. Might have to get into preseason games, see it live and in color. So we'll see.
Yeah, well, we know he makes decisions like instantly, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we got a mock game coming up, I believe this Saturday. Is that right? When that is? And then
next Thursday.
Yeah, and then next Thursday going with the
Raiders,
the Vegas Raiders. Yeah.
We're really only talking about two spots, aren't we? I mean, because you figure your left tackle, you know who it's going to be. You know who your left guard is going to be. We assume the rookie's going to start in Raible. You know who your right tackle is going to be, assuming Abe Lucas is healthy.
Yeah.
I feel like, and maybe I'm being too presumptuous. Maybe there's more of a battle going on than I'm giving credit, but it feels like we're talking about center and right guard.
Yeah. No, that's
is that fair?
Very simple.
Yeah.
Very simple. And I would say probably on the entire roster offensively. I mean, you've got all of your starters. It's really those are the only two. I mean, depending on what combination of receivers they put out there, or tight ends or whatever. But
you're right. Everything else, you feel like you know who your starters are at every single spot other than center and right guard. And
we'll get to in a second here, tight ends and wide receivers. That's going to be a big question mark. But so you've got that. You've got the game coming up, and I think that, like I said, Mike makes decisions pretty quickly, and it's not like he needs to see it over a long period of time. The other thing is there's just a way he has of identifying, like that's it. And sometimes it's just a few plays or whatever, but he has a very clear idea of what he wants. And, and especially coming from the perspective of being a defensive coach, I think that's really valuable, for offensive linemen. So, yeah, and, we hear all the time of guys, exchanging like advice and stories about, how to beat a guy, or, Brian Millard. He was a guard, and he actually made the all 50 top 50. And Edwin Bailey, who was out there today. Damn it, I forgot.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Oh.
So hopefully he comes back.
Did they have a spot marked for him out front?
Probably. Yeah, he should. Top 50 guy, yeah. But
you're outside the top 50. You're going to be over in the gravel over there outside the gate.
That's where I am.
Yeah. If you would have been in the top 50, Dave, you'd have a spot in there.
Maybe. Schlereth would come here and take it, probably.
They would send a car for him.
Yeah. No, but Brian Millard used to help me out. Honestly, like he would exchange like secrets, and this is when I was younger. So, like my second year, my rookie year, he liked me for whatever reason. So, yeah, I mean, you get that kind of exchange all the time. Sharing information, trade secrets, if you will.
Coach is talking about some other things, as you mentioned, receivers and tight ends, and he sort of pushes back on the notion of Arroyo, who they drafted, being the replacement for Fant, and explains why they drafted Arroyo.
I guess we just don't see it as this like in and out. Okay, now it's this guy. It was this guy, and now it's just we had a great group at tight end. Noah was part of that group. We still have a great group at tight end, and Noah's moving on. It's great. We drafted Elijah because we thought he was going to be a great football player and a great tight end, and didn't really have an impact of like what the team needed at that point. This guy's just a heck of a player. So I think when you talk about Elijah's skill set, we talked about this when we drafted him, but his route tree, being able to split out, also playing line, which he's working on, he's got a lot of room to grow. We're going to put a lot of pressure on him. We expect a lot out of him. So he's got a great opportunity in front of him.
Sounds like he's a Schneider special, right? I mean, they didn't have any, preconceived notions or anything. They just he's the best football player there.
Yeah.
And
do you think if he weren't there, they didn't draft tight end there, and say they draft tight end in the, 5th, 6th round, is Noah Fant still here?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, I mean, I think they might have looked at Noah Fant and said he's redundant because, again, when Arroyo was drafted, and I think there was a number of whether it was NFL Network or I can't remember exactly where I heard it, but his comp in the draft was Fant.
Yeah.
That's what people were comparing.
I remember we were reading that going, well, they have Noah Fant.
Yeah.
So.
But, yeah, I mean, and then I thought, and again, on that move, I remember talking about him going, that salary doesn't really fit, what they're trying to do. But
I thought for sure he'd be, if they're going to keep him, they're going to restructure it. And nothing happened.
Right. Well, now I don't know if he wanted to move on and go somewhere else. I mean, we hear this about DK Metcalf and
Geno Smith.
And really, Tyler also, that like, not that he was like a problem child or anything like that, but Tyler just, he'd had his, he'd had enough. He'd had enough here. He wanted to move on. So, yeah, I feel like that's probably what happened with Fant because I'm sure, like you said, they tried to restructure.
Coach explains why they brought in, speaking of tight ends, Eric Saubert.
Well, he's got a great reputation. Some of our coaches had a prior relationship with him. Obviously knows the system well, but just really impressed with like his veteran leadership. Again, just how you operate in the building and being a part of the team building that we're trying to create. He's right in the thick of it. It's not like he doesn't feel like a guy that you just picked up for a year or whatever. He feels like he's a true Seahawk. So that's exciting.
Yeah, he's quite the journeyman. I think he was drafted out of, where did he go to school? I'm trying to remember. Drake. Football powerhouse, Bob.
Love the Drake.
Yeah. But, he's been in Atlanta, he's been in Chicago, Jacksonville, Denver, and I think that's where he might have crossed paths with Clint Kubiak in the past. So, but yeah, I mean, he's just a good, solid guy. He looked like, right now, I mean, I like AJ Barner's blocking. I think it's really good, but I think Saubert, that's kind of his forte. And I still think he was a little light at tight end, but you got 5 guys there. You got a guy named Nick Callerup, and then I'm trying to remember the other guy, Marshall Lang. And those guys are both, and they're huge. When you look at that tight end group, and they're all like 6'6", and it's a a good-looking group. But the one that's most impressive is Arroyo, just because he's so fast and he's got that size. So that part will be kind of interesting, and to see sort of how that shakes out. I mean, they could always move Robbie Oots back up there because he's at fullback right now. But
same with Russell, right?
Yeah, Brady Russell. But he can play tight end. They can do both. So yeah, they'll figure it out. But I think they feel like they're set at tight end, and I think Saubert is a bigger piece than people think, just because he's he's one of those guys that just can do both, and he knows the system, and he's very valuable to have around.
One more from head coach Mike Macdonald talking about the receivers, and he was asked what Jake Bobo's role will be.
I mean, Jake's been an integral part of our football team. I mean, talk about identity, how he plays on special teams, his clutchness, catching the ball. I mean, the guy's got incredible hands. And then now with our, how we're going to be blocking on the perimeter, I mean, you're going to want 19 out there, push cracking safeties and doing all those things too. So, I mean, he brings a lot to the table.
You think he's got a spot on the team?
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that, just because, I was kind of going through and looking at, the usage of tight ends, and then you look at the receivers and what they have, and, like, does he make the team? I mean, yeah, there's, 8, 10, there's like 12 receivers in camp right now. So, yeah, I mean, I don't remember his blocking standing out, but I think he's a good football player. I've seen him on special teams, and I think he's one of those guys that is very valuable to your roster. But I don't know, I was just, when I was going through and looking at how much they use tight ends, I was wondering if maybe he might be a casualty.
Yeah, I mean, you got to figure, look, there's one ball. And if they're going to, if tight ends step up and have a much bigger part of the game plan, that's going to come at the expense of receivers.
Yeah.
Right? So, maybe they put more of a priority on the tight ends.
But, yeah, I mean, and then you look at some of the other guys. We talked to Tory Horton today, and apparently he's having a really good camp. And then you look at Cody White, and he blocked a punt last year. Derick Young is another guy that's there. And then also Steven Sims, who is a really good returner in his 7th year. And I know Jay Harbaugh loves him. So, yeah, there's a lot of there's a lot of competition there. And then the other guy, Ricky White, he's the guy we keep talking about, the rookie that blocked 4 punts last year.
Yeah.
Is just crazy good special team player. So, yeah, I mean, I think Bobo's going to have to kind of make his hay. I think the one thing that I think it still sticks with him is that he ran a 4.940. I mean, really, I mean, these other guys are fast.
Yeah.
They have speed. So I think, he's going to be kind of an underdog a little bit, but yeah, I mean, we'll see how his blocking is, and I just don't remember him blocking that much or just paying attention to it. But yeah, just trying to make yourself valuable on special teams and every other way. If you're on that sort of fringe, if you're not, Cooper Kupp or MVS
or JSN. Yeah, he definitely feels like he's kind of a fringe guy right now.
Yeah,
and I know fans love him, and I feel like they love him in a way that he's just such an underdog. You talk about his 40 time. He's a big white guy. He's a big slow white guy. Is how he's viewed by football measurements. He'd beat any of us in a race, certainly. But I think he's just becomes that underdog that people love the name. They love to say his name. They love to see him out there just sort of bucking the odds and finding a way to have an impact. So he's definitely got the support of the fan base, but I really do feel like he's a guy that he's fighting for his roster spot here.
Yeah.
He's not – his name's written in pencil. It's not pen.
Right. That's a good way to put it. And the other guy, Derick Young, I mean, that guy has made himself very difficult to cut because I've seen him line up at fullback. I've seen him line up at receiver. I mean, it was kind of a gimmicky thing. It wasn't like he took 20 snaps at fullback, but he can do so much for your football team. You love having guys like that. He's 6'2", 225. He's a big, thick dude, and he can play pretty much every special team. So, yeah, it's going to be quite a battle there at receiver. And I don't know if, the numbers are going to be a little bit less, but I would think you would have one less receiver and one more tight end.
Yeah.
The way that they're running this offense.
Reminder, Seahawks preseason home opener next Thursday. The Raiders come to town. Pete Carroll Head coach of the Raiders, Geno Smith. I don't know if we'll see Geno out there. Or
I'm sure he'll come over and shake everybody's hand. And
yeah. Come say hi to us.
Come say hi to us.
We developed the relationship over the years. But the Raiders come to town. It's already week 1 of the preseason. That's coming up next Thursday. And today is the last day you can enter to win 4 tickets to watch the Seahawks take on that Raider team. All you need to do is open the Seattle Sports app, and you can click the Win tab to find out how. Now, if you don't have the app, no problem. You just text the word app, APP, to 866-979-3776. We'll send you a link to download it. It's completely free. So you can do that today if you're interested in going out there and watching Pete Carroll come back to town as the head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. Meanwhile, some things happening around NFL training camps out there. Jared Verse tried to work out with Aaron Donald this offseason, who's retired, by the way. And I think he was talking a little trash, wasn't he? Wasn't he kind of talking some smack about being able to keep up with the old man? And
yeah, I think that's what led to this.
Yeah, so here he is describing how insane an Aaron Donald workout is.
We do 4 workouts. It's all cardio. Versus climber bike, lunges and core, 4 rounds each. You do all that. You're already tired. You're kind of like, oh my God, whatever. Then you do 4 sets of core, 2 different workouts. So it's 8 different workouts, 4 sets each. You do all that for 4 sets. You go through, he's like, all right, you ready for the real workout? I'm like, bro, I've been here for 45 minutes. What are you talking about? We go to the weight room. It's all arms. That's why he's big as hell. We go to the weight room. It's 8 different circuits, all arms, 4 sets each. I'm there for an hour and a half. His wife came in laughing at me. I told her to call the police. I'm dead serious. I'm not even joking. I'm dead serious. I told her to call the police. She wouldn't do it. I tried to lie and say my mom was at my house and I had to go let her in. He told me to give my keys to his, his management or assistant or something. They would go let my mom in. So I wasn't leaving. Finished the workout. I'm dead tired. I'm exhausted. I had a plan to go jump in the sauna afterwards. Didn't happen. Had plans to watch film. Didn't happen. Went home and I didn't work out for another day and a half because I couldn't move my body.
Good Lord. I love it. I tried to lie, say I had to go let my mom in. Oh, here, my assistant will go do it. Just give him the keys.
Aaron Donald is ridiculous.
I like that he did. He played all arms. That's why his arms are so damn big.
Yeah. He played 10 years. Every year he was a Pro Bowler. And by my count, he missed 9 games. So, I mean,
one of the best interior defensive players you've ever seen?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And you look at the production. I mean, guy got 20 and a half sacks on the inside. How do you do that? So he ended up with 111. I feel like he still had gas in his tank. But
what was he listed at, his size?
Let's see here.
6'1",
280.
Yeah, he never, height-wise, he always looked smaller than the guys out there, but he was just a
he was
building.
So quick.
And ridiculously strong.
Yeah. So, but it's just alarming. You pull up his career, and it's star on every year, meaning Pro Bowl selection. So
see, he's one of those guys. We've talked about this in baseball and other, talking about Hall of Fames. There shouldn't be a vote. There's certain guys who are just automatic entry.
Don't put it up for.
Yeah, just you look at him, you go, come on, let's not waste our time or your vote. He's in. This guy's in. Yeah. There are just certain players in every sport where I think that applies.
Well, and it's kind of like what we talk about Cal with the All-Star game. I'm shoehorning Cal into the conversation. But the difficulty of his job.
Yeah.
I mean, that's you're going to get blocked on every single play. There's going to be a heavy amount of contact, and you're going to have to fight double teams. And, and he wins regularly in double teams, or did anyway. So, interesting. You would think that he would have workouts like that, right?
He looks like he does.
Yeah.
He looks like it. A couple other training camp notes. This one comes courtesy of Joe Burrow, and he's being asked about the Trey Hendrickson contract situation and how he feels about that whole thing.
Yeah, obviously disappointing. You'd like to have all your guys out there day one to try to build that cohesion that I was talking about earlier. But it's not how it usually works out. It's a business, and that is how it's gone.
Is there any frustration on your end that every year there seems to be?
Yeah, of course that's, it can be frustrating. But, that's the business of the NFL. That's how things go.
Have you spoken to Trey since he decided not to report?
Yeah, me and Trey are in constant contact.
Would you like to see more urgency from both sides, the front office and the players, to getting those deals done so they can get here as soon as possible?
Yeah, I think the earlier you get these things done, the better.
Yeah, he's being put in a tough spot there. Like, yeah, I'd like to see more urgency. Yeah, I'm sure he'd like to have it done yesterday. Yeah. So
I'd like him to have like $1 billion contract.
Yeah, let's get down to business.
Right.
Couple other ones quickly. This is Josh Allen. He was asked about the Bills' past failures against the Kansas City Chiefs.
I mean, we can only control what we can control, and that's this training camp right now. And it's no time like the present. So again, we don't think about that as much as people tend to think. Ultimately, we know that it probably runs through them in the playoffs as it has the last 6-7 years, right? So again, we just have to continue to keep putting our best foot forward and not focusing on the results, but enjoying the process and going from there.
Yeah. Do you mind if we get to Aaron Rodgers, Bob? Because I hate it when I like what Aaron Rodgers says.
Yeah, I thought he handled this well.
I did too.
That was got to give credit where it's due. And Terry Bradshaw was taking shots at him during that whole build up to where is he going to sign? Is he going to sign with the Steelers? And Terry had a few choice things to say about it, and Aaron was asked about it on NFL Network, and he responded to the criticism of Bradshaw.
Terry Bradshaw says, Rodgers to the Steelers. I wrote it down because I want to get it right. It's a joke. Stay in California, chew on bark, and whisper to the gods.
Well, I whisper to the gods every single day.
Damn right.
I've known Terry for a long time, being a part of Fox. Terry's a legend. He's an absolute legend. He won 4 Super Bowls. He's had a legendary career in the media. But Terry, like a lot of people, doesn't know me. And so he's got an idea of what he thinks about me based on what I've done, the documentary, what I've said, Darkness Retreat, whatever the hell you want to talk about. I'd love to get to know Terry on a deeper level. And I feel like if he gave me a chance to get to know him, then we'd have a good friendship.
Yeah, it sounds like Obama to me.
Oh, really?
Just his cadence and his tone, the way, he's...
Well, I love what he said. I mean, he responded perfectly, and the only reason I wanted to get this because when I was in Denver, he did the same thing to John Elway.
Bradshaw did?
Yeah, he has something about California. He needs to go, because he mentioned that with Elway as well. And so I remember seeing John Elway and Terry Bradshaw having a come to Jesus out on the field because he was going to do a game that a Bronco game. Right. And I mean, he just, I don't know what that is. What does he have against California, Bob?
I don't know.
But if you look at
too much bark out there, I don't know.
But Aaron Rodgers, I mean, he couldn't have had a better response.
No,
right?
he handled it. Look, we rip him when it's necessary. You got to give him praise. I thought I heard that last night. I read the transcript, and then I heard it. I'm like, you nailed it.
He did.
Handled it perfectly.
And I hate when I have to say that because I don't really care for Aaron Rodgers that much. But like he said, maybe I don't know him well enough. But
you guys could go chew bark together and get to know each other.
Darkness Retreat or whatever the hell.
Coming up, a common name has popped up when Seahawks players talk about which teammate should have a breakout year. We're going to get into that next with Wyman and Bob live from the Virginia Mason Athletic Center. It's Seattle Sports on 710.
Seahawks training camp is underway.
That is music to the ears.
And nobody gives you more insider access than the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Coach Macdonald sitting down with us right now. This thing on and ready for you.
Watch how the Seahawks roster comes together.
Seattle Sports training camp coverage is presented by the Landing in Renton.
Seahawks training camp on Seattle Sports on 710, the Seattle Sports app, and the Seattle Sports YouTube page.
Look at this beautiful weather outside. This is motorcycle weather. I am riding every single day out here to training camp and riding on the weekends. And with that comes a lot of risk, obviously. And my friends that have been riding much longer than me always tell me, hey, it's not a matter of if, but when you get into an accident. Hopefully doesn't happen anytime soon. I have yet to do that, and I'm knocking on wood. Hopefully never happens. But if you're a rider and you're somebody that gets injured in a motorcycle crash, do not settle for a firm that says they're motorcycle lawyers. Trust the ones who live it. That's Law Tigers. They have been a part of the riding community for nearly 25 years nationwide. They are there 24/7, 365 days a year because riders deserve real support when they need it. Law Tigers is the resource riders can turn to when they are in need. And you see them out at all of the events. They support all the shops, all the clubs out there. You see the big tents. You see the vans driving around. The Law Tigers are always by your side. In your case evaluation, totally free. There are no fees until your case settles. They don't get paid until you get paid. You never ride alone with the Law Tigers. The Law Tigers are Washington's motorcycle lawyers. Jimmy Cook, 539 Broadway, Unit 104, Tacoma, Washington, 98402.
Got neighbors? Big Trees can help. This is Nancy Penrose, owner of Big Trees in Snohomish. If you've been considering planting trees to add privacy, look no further than Big Trees. Privacy trees fill in empty spaces, help to define property lines, and add curb appeal. Learn more about Big Trees' big supply of privacy trees at bigtreesupply.com.
Beauty, privacy, instantly. Big Trees.
My perfect day has sand, salt water, and friends. But my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can take me out of the moment. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, most people saw 90% clearer skin, and many were even 100% plaque-free at 4 months. Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Pro Savings Days are back at Lowe's. Right now, get a 4-piece GE kitchen suite for under $2,000. Plus, get a free DeWalt 20-volt Max XR 8 amp-hour battery when you buy a select DeWalt tool. Save big with deals that work as hard as you do. Shop Pro Savings Days in-store or online today. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 8/1. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details.
If you didn't think skipping breakfast was a big deal, you'd be right. Before. But now, Wendy's has Buck Biscuits. We're talking sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit, bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit, or even the Honey Buddy Chicken Biscuit. For just $1 each. Seriously, you can get all 3 if you want. They're just $1, so you'll never skip breakfast again. If you're smart. Breakfast for $1? Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. Limit 5 qualifying items per transaction. Not valid in a combo while supplies last.
The home of the Mariners.
It is gone! Cal Raleigh, 2-run home run.
Hear every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Comcast Business High Five Hotline. What's the state of your excitement?
I signed my business up for the 5-year price lock guarantee, and I can't stop high-fiving people. High five!
Okay, deep breath.
High five.
You're in a good place. You signed your business up for 5 years of gig speed internet and advanced security, all on our ultra-reliable network.
Gig speeds and advanced security? I'm so stoked.
Yep, and you get it at a great rate that's locked in for 5 years.
Woo!
The high five is just your body's way of saying, I'm winning.
So this is natural.
High-fiving everyone you see in a state of business savings enthusiasm? Totally natural.
Sweet! Thank you! Thank you! High five, everybody! High five!
The Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee is back, but only for a limited time, so sign your business up today.
High five!
Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 9/21/25 for new customers with qualifying bundle. Current customers may be eligible depending on services and area. Guaranteed rate applies to monthly service charge, excluding taxes and fees. Other restrictions apply.
Why'd I go to the doctor? One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the right call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-486-9600. That's 800-486-9600.
From the Quantum
Quantum Fiber Studio. You're listening to Wyman and Bob.
Weekdays 2 to 7.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
We continue live from the Virginia Mason Athletic Center. Wyman and Bob, Seattle Sports on 710. Coming up at 6 p.m., we will turn you over to the Mariners pregame show as they begin their series with the Sacramento A's. I guess they're just calling them the A's. They're not saying Sacramento, even though that's where they're playing. So it'll be interesting to watch that game. It's in a minor league ballpark.
How about the A's, man, coming off of a 4-game sweep of the Astros?
Maybe the Astros' injuries are finally catching up to them. Maybe that's it.
Yeah, I mean, it's been incredible what they've done and the number of guys that they have. Okay, I'll stop talking about it.
Yeah.
People are going to start texting in, say that I love the Astros.
Yes, they will. I'm doing it right now. I'm texting in. Tell Dave to shut up about his beloved Astros.
I'll check the number on that one.
Meanwhile, some other things going on here and talking about the Seahawks defense and a lot of expectation attached to this defense. We all expect them to be who they were in the second half to begin the year, and that's a top 5 defense. And it's going to take some contributions from guys that maybe didn't have the biggest year last year. Derick Hall was talking about this and just talking about what he learned from last year and his expectations for himself this season.
Yeah, I think, as always, it's my motto, like I play hard. So, it was good to go out, be able to have that experience, start playing well. I feel like run is my key, so being able to set the edge on the run and then being able to be powerful and, make those plays in the pass game as well. I feel like that's what I did really well, and what I need to grow on again is the details, man. Like, that's that jump from, an 8-sack year to a 10, 12, 14-sack year, being able to hone in on the details, find little tidbits of things that you can find to be able to grow from. So I think that was huge with the review. I'm going to look back on my year.
Nicely put. I like it. He doesn't lack confidence. I know that about him, and, he shouldn't. I mean, he really, last year, 8 sacks, and I feel like that number could continue to climb, but he's just so unbelievably powerful. That's the one thing that strikes out. I was watching pass rush, and, it was just amazing how he is able to move huge men. And, it's kind of an interesting situation there because, like I said, you got DeMarcus Lawrence that can play out there, but then also, you have Boye Mafe. You got Uchenna at some point. We'll see where he is. And, really, I mean, they can line up Leonard Williams out there on the edge. He's that versatile. So, there's just a lot of it'll be interesting to see how they play and at the end of the year who gets most of the reps.
Right. Derick was asked about the guy that I'm most interested in, just in terms of seeing what the jump is going to be from their first year to their second, and that's Byron Murphy. He's talking about why he is expecting Byron Murphy to have a big year.
By far, last year I think Murph was effective, hugely effective. He's one of the best to play the double teams in the league, and I feel like that's his strong point, being able to add the skill of pass rush, being able to work that a little bit better, getting with AD and getting with Leo and Jaron and those guys, and being able to work that, man. I feel like Byron's going to have a really, really huge year for us.
Do you agree with that? Do you think he had a productive year and he was one of the best against the double team?
No, he's good. He was good against the double team. I didn't see him like putting people on their backs or anything like that. But no, he withstood. I thought most double teams, and he's kind of been known to not in college. I mean they couldn't double team him. He was just a huge. So I think we're going to have a very different view of him after this year.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what he looks like this year and how he fits in, when he's got that year under his belt, and he's going to be more comfortable in the defense, obviously, and nothing's, out of the ordinary now. He knows what to expect. He understands it, and there was just nothing but rave reviews on him coming out of the draft. So maybe expectations for an interior defensive lineman were a little high. I just wanted to hear his name. I just want to hear, oh man, did you see what Murphy did? He put that guy on his back. He's just moving this whole line. I just wanted to hear his name called. I just felt like there were a number of games that we just kind of forgot he was out there. Doesn't mean he wasn't doing work and he doesn't have an impact, but it was pretty subtle is how it felt.
Yeah, and the other thing too is as far as a fan watching, I mean he was probably playing 100% of the snaps in Texas, in college. But, here in the NFL, I mean, typically it's around 60%, so he probably didn't get into a groove, but also just that jump he's going to take this next year, I thought. And when we talked to him, and I just thought he was a great kid. He's got a really good attitude, and I think he did a good job with his rookie year. But especially, there were a lot of expectations for him. What was he, the number 17 pick? Was it
16 or 17?
16 or 17, and so yeah,
he was the second defensive player off the board.
Right. Yeah, Latu, right?
Yeah,
that was the Colts, I think, took him. So yeah, I mean, there was a lot of pressure on him, and it's in a position where it's hard to, it'll be the same for Raible as well. Playing guard, it's kind of hard to evaluate. Yeah, I can't wait till
because we don't know the rules, Dave.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right.
And I can't wait to hear all of the criticism from the people.
Yeah, because you don't know ball.
Yeah.
Did you find the number there, Lefko? 16, 17? Is that what you're looking up?
Oh, no.
Oh, I thought you were looking them up.
Yeah, for once, Lefko went, 16, 17, what's the difference?
Whatever.
I thought for sure he was going to just come in with
somewhere in that neighborhood.
No, the Latu one was the important one, so I looked that one up.
Oh, okay.
Just to make sure.
Well, now
16.
16. Okay. All right.
It's way off.
Leonard Williams was outlining the biggest improvement he's seen out of Byron Murphy.
I would say the biggest thing I've seen is just his mindset shift. Last year he came in not quite sure what to expect. He's just trying to learn from what he's seeing and stuff like that, whereas this year I heard him say from himself that he just wasn't satisfied with his rookie season. We think he did a great job. We know that there's growing in this league, but the fact that he's not satisfied with it shows that, he's motivated to work hard.
I like that. I like that he wasn't satisfied with it.
Yeah, me too. And and I think going into I've had games like his year was last year where you go in, you want to make plays, you want to make a difference, you want to get sacks and interceptions and make big plays. And I remember having some games where it was like, yeah, I did everything right, and I didn't, I had 4 tackles or whatever, and you didn't make any plays or whatever. And I think that's probably why he was a little frustrated with his rookie year. But again, I didn't see him, trying to go around blocks or, not taking on the double team or trying to, do something outside of the defense. I think he just went in there and, and I like his mindset because he very much, even though he was a number 16 pick in the draft, he knew his place. Yeah. I'm a rookie. I need to do exactly what I'm told, and I'm sure, Mike Macdonald hammered that into his brain, and he did it, but he didn't really make any plays, and so that. I think that's probably why he's saying that, because I don't think he had a poor rookie year. It's just that, that it takes guys different. Aaron Donald hit the ground running.
Yeah, but he's on a different.
But he's a little
level.
outlier.
Yeah, that's not a fair comparison, really, for anybody.
But yeah, every year he was getting production. But that's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah. Reminder: our coverage of Seahawks training camp is brought to you by The Landing in Renton. Coming up, there are some important things to sort out with this Mariners lineup. We're going to get into that next as we continue live from the Virginia Mason Athletic Center with Wyman and Bob. It is Seattle Sports on 710.
Seahawks training camp is underway.
That is music of the year.
And nobody gives you more insider access than the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Coach Macdonald sitting down with us right now. This thing on and ready for you.
Watch how the Seahawks roster comes together.
Seattle Sports training camp coverage is presented by The Landing in Renton.
Seahawks training camp on Seattle Sports on 710, the Seattle Sports app, and the Seattle Sports YouTube page.
This is for all you guys on Viagra. ED pills are no longer needed. The brutal side effects like 4-hour headaches, blurred vision, and that flush feeling can all be put behind you with our treatment. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we have a better approach to ED. Acoustic wave therapy creates blood flow circulation by safely removing the plaque in your arteries and restoring function naturally. Guys, let me be clear. Pills will never fix your problem. Our equipment is the latest technology, and our medical staff is the best in the industry. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. If you suffer from ED or Peyronie's disease, give West Coast Men's Health a call today. It's not just about better health. It's about a better life.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
Hey, Brock Ewart here for my friends over at PCF Construction. If you're seeking a complete outdoor living space
or a very specific project like an underdeck ceiling, maybe a new deck, patio cover, railings, well, my friends at PCF have you covered. This summer, well, you can enjoy 12 months of no interest and no payments. And how about this? Plus 50% off a design and architectural drawing package, or up to $5,000 off an undercover system. If you're looking at your outside and saying, golly, what a beautiful summer in the Pacific Northwest, and we can't take advantage of it, well, take advantage of these offers today. If you've been wanting that new deck, that new patio cover, make the call. Get online right now and connect with my friends at PCF. You can find all the offer details. You can get project ideas, and you can browse photos at pcfgroup.com or call today at 425-629-8476. Don't let this offer pass you by. It's 425-629-8476.
Dave Wyman here for Harley Exteriors. When you hear Harley Exteriors, I want you to think windows manufactured right here in Washington and specifically designed for our Pacific Northwest homes and climate. These are the windows you want. They look absolutely stunning, much better than a traditional vinyl window, and they're going to lower your energy bills and provide year-round comfort. They also come with a double lifetime, fully transferable warranty, meaning not only are you covered for glass breaking or damaged seals, it's going to help your resale and home value. These windows last up to 60 years. Harley Exteriors is making these windows affordable with options like 0 payments and 0 interest up to 12 months for qualified buyers. In July, Harley Exteriors is offering 50% off basic installation, no payments, no interest for 12 months, and an additional $200 off your project. Think Harley Exteriors for windows, doors, and more right here in the Puget Sound. Call 833-HARLEY or just go to harleyexteriors.com.
Seattle Sports is giving you a shot at 4 tickets to see the Seahawks host the Raiders August 7th. Just open the Seattle Sports app, tap the Win tab in the bottom right corner, and enter. You can enter once per day, so the more you enter, the better your chances. Enter daily from July 23rd through 28th. Full details and rules at seattlesports.com/win. Only from the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports. The home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Cal swinging a drive, deep to right field.
Every pitch of every Mariners game is on the Seattle Sports app.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten. Classics are remixed. Bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
I have a handful of stories that really affected me personally in my career and how I handled employees. Lee Johnson, coming out of his office as a customer, asked me where the service department is. And I was like, yeah, go to the end of the hall, go up the stairs, go across the breezeway, open a door, go to the left. You want Chevy, go to the right. You want Mazda? Because I didn't even have enough time to say, hey, what kind of car do you have? Here comes Lee, and it's like, oh, ma'am, come with me. Let me show you. And then have him come back and not dress me down. It's just almost like with that fatherly disappointment of like, that's not how we take care of people. I mean, the right way is to walk her down to the stairs, walk her up the stairs, open the door for her, go over, across the way, open up that door, introduce her to somebody. So she's comfortable, she's made it to the right place, and that we value the business. What you did was you made it seem like she was an inconvenience to you. Customers are the purpose of our day.
The LJ Way is the Lee Johnson Auto family.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Wyman and Bob.
Weekdays 2 to 7.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Mariners getting set to take on the A's. Sacramento A's. I'm just going to call them that. I know it's not official, but they're going to take on the A's out there in that minor league ballpark. Game 1 coming your way. Pregame show starting in about 15 minutes from now. And a couple of things going on going into this game. J.P. Crawford getting the day off, and Julio will be leading off. So Dylan Moore will get the start at short.
Okay.
Maybe this will be the thing to get his season going. He gets, more than just one pinch hit opportunity off the bench in a season where he's already struggling. Yesterday was rough. Comes off the bench, 3 pitches, have a seat. It was not good.
Yeah, it's just the reason why it's not based on what we've seen, right? But that's just not him. That's not him. I mean, he's already, and he may have more, but the last time I checked, he had 5 errors, which was like a career high for him. So, errors, and then, his batting average has just plummeted, hasn't it? I mean,
he's hitting 206.
Oh, my gosh.
No, I'm sorry. He's at an even 200.
Okay.
Even 200 right now.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm not saying that because of the year he's had, he's going to have a good game, but I mean, he's got to make a comeback at some point here. I mean, the numbers have to start going north. Maybe that's tonight.
Yeah, I mean, he'll get multiple turns up at the plate, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, it's been a rough go, to say the very least, for Dylan Moore, and look, I'm not going to make the case that he's an everyday player. We've had this discussion before. I think he gets exposed and when he's out there too much. But even in the situations that you normally use him in, the part-time player that he's been decidedly better. I mean, for the month of July, he's hitting 0.48.
Good night.
He is 1 for 21 in the month of July, and that's coming off a month where he hit 0.33.
All right.
So he's not even hitting 50 in the past 2 months. I mean, that's how he's had 2 hits. This is amazing. He's had 2 hits in 2 months.
Yeah.
He is 2 for his last 51.
Well, and I have to say, like, if you look at his career, like, it's not like, I mean, the best year for him was 2020, and he was
that was the 60-game season.
255 was his batting average, and he only played in 38 games.
Yeah, they only played. Yeah, that was the
COVID
year.
Yeah. So, and then it's been 207, 201. Right now he's at 200, as you mentioned. So, I don't know. Maybe he's not staged for some kind of a resurgence or whatever, but yeah, it's been a rough one for him.
Well, and it's been rough for the guy that he's in for tonight. I mean, J.P. Crawford is since last Monday, he's 1 for 30, his last 30. It was 0 walks. And that's what he was doing to start the year. He was walking a ton. And even when he wasn't hitting, he was walking. He was getting on base. He was amongst league leaders in on-base percentage. And, he very recently had, a 16-game hit streak? So he's been much different at the plate, much better, more productive. But, yeah, he's in a very big slump. And Julio will lead off tonight in this game. But, yeah, so you got one guy who's been scuffling. JP plays every day, so yeah, I'm certain he could use a day off and maybe just give his mind a break as much as his body.
Mm-hmm.
But the guy you're bringing in to replace him is kind of in the same boat here. So yeah, I mean, I'm rooting for him. I'm rooting for Dylan. He's a good dude. He's come up with some very big moments for this team over the years, and he's a capable player. I don't think he's an everyday player, Dave. Yeah. I know you don't agree with me on that, but
I'm gonna keep fighting that one.
Well, maybe he'll prove you right. He'll go 4 for 4 tonight, and you'll come in tomorrow going, See that?
Yeah. Well, and then, I mean, at one point, what was the knock on him? He couldn't hit lefties or
righties.
Righties, and, he had a very similar average, early on. But then, the one thing, the errors, that's because he just come off a platinum glove, right, as a utility?
Gold glove.
Or a gold glove.
Yeah.
As far as a utility player. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's happened with him.
Yeah, it's just been a rough year, man. It has, and he's just. I'm looking at his splits right now versus lefties. He's hitting $163. That's what he's there for, is to hit against the lefty. You're going to bring him in there when there's a lefty coming up against the lefty. All right, sit the lefty, bring in the right hand and bat. He's hitting $163. He's hitting 234 against righties this year. Yeah. So he's He's had more at-bats against righties. He's had 94 versus 86 versus lefties. So it's just, it's gone the wrong way. And again, maybe it's it's certainly got to be harder for guys like that you're not playing every day, so you're not getting that opportunity to work your way out of a slump, to work your way out. So but that's been the nature of his career. He's kind of used to it at this point, that being a guy that you're going to maybe play for a couple days, and then you're going to sit for a couple days, and then you're going to play for one day, and then you're going to sit for a couple days. I mean, it's just been, you're not going to be in the situation, barring an injury to the starter, where you're going to be in there every single day.
Yeah.
So you got to find ways to get yourself going. And to this point, whether it's working with Edgar or Seitzer or whatever he's doing, it's not taking.
Yeah. What do you think about Josh Naylor? I mean, it's not like he, has come in and just exploded. He's got a hit in every game. He's swiped a couple of bags, three. Hasn't got caught stealing.
That surprised me a bit.
Yeah, me too.
Because he doesn't look like a base stealer. He's not built that way.
No.
He made a couple nice picks at first base.
Yeah.
Look, it's a handful of games. He's what you want. He's struck out a little more than I thought, because he's not a guy that strikes out. And maybe he's pressing, but he had a few more strikeouts than I otherwise would have thought.
Yeah, 11 at bats, and he has 4 strikeouts.
Yeah,
so
that's above his pace.
Yeah, that was kind of the big selling point with him.
Yeah, so and that's not, and I think he'll settle in. I love the acquisition. I just think it was an absolute slam dunk. I love that what they gave up. We'll see. We talked about, well, if he comes out here and really has a good run with the team, and he likes it and they like it, then there's nothing that precludes them from signing him to an extension.
Yeah. Is it Brandon Diaz that they traded, and then the other one, Ashton Izzy?
Yeah.
Yeah, people were texting in today. He's going to be a Cy Young winner. Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, or he could be a bust. It's the same with any prospect. You have no idea what they're going to be. And that's the nature of it. You got to take a chance, man. You've got to stock your team with the players that are going to help you take advantage of the window you got right now. In that window.
Brandon Garcia, by the way.
Careful with that Lefko. You're looking at.
What's he doing over there?
He's giving you the signal.
Yeah, be careful there.
Said you're number one. All right, that's going to do it for us. I want to thank our guests today, Steve Raible, Tory Horton, and Ryan Rowland-Smith all joined us on the program. If you missed any part of it, head to the podcast page at seattlesports.com. Click the podcast tab. Scroll down to our picture. Click on that. It's right there waiting for you. We're going to talk to you tomorrow right here with Wyman and Bob, Seattle Sports on 710.
Now batting for the Mariners, first baseman Josh Naylor.
The first contender to make the big move that says, we're all in.
Well, look at the Mariners striking first. How about that?
They did exactly what they needed to do at the deadline.
They do it without giving up a top 10 prospect.
It just kind of felt like, this is the right fit.
You're now looking at a 1 through 6 in your lineup that's deep. It's legitimate.
We're all over baseball's trade deadline on the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Need a break from everything? Escape to a place where anything is possible and the fun never stops. At Silver Reef Casino Resort, you'll discover world-class dining, championship caliber golf, and so much more. Come join the fun and see why we've been consistently rated one of the region's top destinations. Visit silverreefcasino.com to book your stay and discover all the exciting events and promotions we have in store for you. Silver Reef Casino Resort, located off I-5, exit 260.
Find out more at silverreefcasino.com.
Need a new roof now? With State Roofing and Exteriors, you can get started with 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to 24 months. That's right. Protect your home now and pay later. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today.
Well, I'm here with my good buddy, Dr. Dan Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine, and you've heard from Dr. Dan's patients over the years how a simple stem cell procedure has successfully conquered their pain. Well, folks, now it's my turn. After years of dealing with knee pain from all the football abuse, I can say my knee pain now is almost 100% gone. How'd you do it, Dr. Dan?
Well, Brock, personally, I'm very happy that you did so well, and your story is like so many of our other patients who come in, former athletes and non-athletes as well, who have come in with chronic knee pain, and and they are looking for alternatives besides knee replacement surgery. And we're happy to provide this service. It's been truly a game changer for so many folks. It's just been a pleasure to be part of this.
Consider Dr. Nelson, the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques, including stem cell therapy. I was in and out with a couple of follow-ups. It's a non-surgical solution to pain using your own stem cells. Consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD at 425-823-4000 or visit danielnelsonmd.com. That's danielnelsonmd.com.
12's Seahawks training camp, powered by Boeing, is underway at the Virginia Mason Athletic Center. Join us lakeside for a first look at your 2025 Seahawks as they put in work and gear up for a milestone 50th season. Only a few open practice remain, and they're filling up fast. Register now at Seahawks.com/training camp.
If you didn't think skipping breakfast was a big deal, you'd be right. Before. But now, Wendy's has Buck Biscuits. We're talking sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit, bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit, or even the Honey Buddy chicken biscuit for just $1 each. Seriously, you can get all three if you want. They're just $1, so you'll never skip breakfast again. If you're smart. Breakfast for $1? Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. Limit 5 qualifying items per transaction. Not valid in the combo while supplies last.
Why'd I go to the doctor? One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the right call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com, sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
The success you've already had matters at University of Maryland Global Campus because we're a school for real life. An accredited state university, UMGC lets you earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's for prior learning and relevant life and work experience, or transfer up to 12 credits toward a master's. We offer affordable tuition and online and hybrid courses. Classes start August 13th. Apply now and save with no application fee. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Lowe's knows big savings make a big difference, especially when you're shopping for appliances. Hurry in to get up to 30% off select major appliances. Plus, My Lowe's Rewards members get free delivery, free haul away, free installation and parts on purchases of $2,500 or more. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 7/30. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Price, delivery time, and vehicle availability may vary based on order size and location. Exclusions apply. See Lowes.com/delivery for more details.
Saving for retirement was tough enough for us.
Yes, and navigating markets can be challenging at times.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we take a disciplined approach with your investments.
Tell us more about that.
We take an active approach to money management, positioning your portfolio for opportunities we see ahead.
So all your clients get the same portfolio?
No, we tailor your portfolio to your individual goals and needs.
What about communication? We don't like being left in the dark.
We check in regularly to keep you informed on the markets and your portfolio.
Which means you'll help us stay on track.
Yes, our goal is your comfortable retirement. And as a fiduciary, we always put your interests first, because we do better when you do better. At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks.